Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ETN. It's the technology show built for your...
Let's go.
Let's get trumpets up.
Here we go.
Good to see it. I've got my new soundboard.
Did you say trumpets? Yeah.
I press trumpets as well.
Sounds like
maybe we've got two going.
I like the trumpets.
Anyway,
Okay.
today is Tuesday. It's the 13th of January. We are back at it again, and boy, do we have some news for you. We are armed with iced Americanos. We are armed with flat whites.
We love to see it.
We are armed.
We
with
love to see it.
Cano waters as well. Before we get into it today, Luke, how's your morning been? You've been up to no good this morning. You've been running around.
Morning's been good. Gym, wake up,
What
pre
was,
6. It feels good. It feels good.
What was,
I'm really living the. I'm not living the Euromax style. I'm kind of living the. I would say regular. I'm saying regular maxing to the gym, which is actually a good thing, obviously. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Did you like when you went to the gym? Did you like shake hands with the person on the door or anything?
I had a quick sauna sesh. I think that's quite.
Did you interact with anyone there?
No.
Oh.
I'm a bit of a non-speaker when I come to the gym.
Yeah, I rarely. But I think
Gym,
that's what,
headphones in, get it done, get out of there ASAP. Unless I'm with a mate, and then it'll be like a chit chat vibe.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's basically it. That's basically it.
I think the regular maxing thing came.
But I'm a regular maxer.
Yeah, but I think
they know me and probably think I'm a bit weird because I just get in there, get out.
I think the value from the regular maxing comes from interacting with people.
Indeed, it does.
Like, hey, first time you're in there, hey, what's your name?
Well, I forgot to book the sauna yesterday, and he knew who I was, the guy who runs the sauna.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, like forgot to book the sauna. So sorry. He was like, it's fine. No one's in there. Just
okay. That's you're capturing value. That is realized gains.
That's my realized
right there.
My realized regular maxing game. Here we go.
And you'd be taxed on those if you were in Norway. I saw a story about that recently.
Indeed.
Anyway,
indeed.
Let's talk about the
welcome. It's Jan 13th.
Let's do the guest.
Thank you very much for joining us. The guests we have on today, we have 3. We have Max Teicher. He is the founder and CEO of TrackTitan. It's a consumer-first rating analytics platform.
Also a sequel.
Bit of a rogue one.
Shout
out to Sequel. We love them. Yeah, it's a bit of a rogue one. Very niche. It's going to be a good one. Then we have Adam Lazary. He's an absolute G, general partner and co-founder of Yellow VC. It's a European pre-seed fund. He was a former multi-stage investor. He's backed companies like Klarna, Lime, a bunch of other ones. And then we have last on the show, I believe at 12:30, we have Amin Raji, co-founder and CEO of Spore Bio. It's modelizing a legacy process that most people don't realize still relies on slow and manual testing. Gonna be a good one. It's a good show. We have a lot of news as well, which is good.
They also Sport Bio really quickly got funding from Google.org AI for Science Fund, which is a really cool. I'm not sure what the total sort of like AUM for that fund is, but they were launched after Demis won the Nobel Prize in chemistry after AlphaFold when they discovered like protein folding.
That's pretty alpha that they've got funding from that.
That's kind of sick. So yeah, I mean, could you say that Demis is on the cap table? Maybe
technically. Do you personally know Demis? I don't know.
Deep mind on the cap table. I'd probably say that. I'd probably get away with that. Anyway, news. The first thing we're going to discuss is the risky bet by AI startups. It's a piece in the Financial Times by Holden Spat, who's a managing director at Thoma Bravo, the private equity fund. We're going to get into that pretty shortly, but just a sort of like a run of the show. What are we discussing today? We've got the risky bet by AI startups, the one I just mentioned. We've got Google doing ads for like the shopping side of the platform, which is also really
personalized AI shopping ads, which is quite cool.
We've got Hero Capital's 500 million euro plan for Europe. We've got HartmanAI raising 200 million Series B at 1.4 billion valuation. We've got Google partnering with Apple. Is it the end of the OpenAI era at Apple? We don't know. We've got Boulderson Capital turning M's to B's with their seed investment at Revolut. We've got Nico Rosberg closing $100 million Fund 3. We've got Anthropic launching Cowork, and then we're going to check in at the town square to see what's been going down on the endless information river. But why don't we jump into
Dude, that's a lot of news. We have a lot of news to cover. It's been an insane week. Let's go. So I
we can pull
literally just posted an article. I don't necessarily agree with what they're saying here, but we can read it. So the risky bet by AI startups. This is, as you said, by Holden Spact. Essentially, what they're saying is big integrated enterprise platforms beat vertical AI point tools. So many AI startups are thin wrappers on foundational models, and therefore they're copyable. They have high compute costs. Their compute costs are completely like third party, so they're basically at the realm of they're hamstrung in a way by the big players like ChatGPT, all of those kind of things. So essentially what I'm saying is the winners like build like workflow moats, not features. So let's dive into the article. So the explosive rise of AI startups follows a pattern we've seen before. Small companies racing to apply new technology to specific business problems, promising huge efficiency gains in their narrow slice of the market. These startups typically use standard AI models like ChatGPT or Claude and distinguish themselves by writing software on top in order to target specific tasks. Their value proposition is that specialized solutions can compete without worrying much about how businesses function as complete systems. Essentially saying that it's a vulnerable strategy. So, I mean, they compare it to dot-com companies because they don't have sustainable business models. Many of today's AI startups burn money paying for access to AI models while lacking advantages that competitors can't copy. Their core bet is that AI can solve specific business problems so efficiency that companies will willingly go beyond their integrated systems to get superior performance in one area. Basically, they're betting that short kind of like best in class is better than just an integrated process that's like good at basically everything.
Yeah.
And it's true, they're paying a lot more in compute, and I guess they're just burning more money. They're smaller shops, and therefore burn is a big deal because you can get out of business.
Yeah.
But my rebuttal to basically the whole article essentially is the fact that what they're saying is they're not building a moat, but in my opinion, they are building quite an impressive moat by integrating very heavily into these companies. So example would be Legora.
Yeah.
Legora is...
Shout out to Max.
What
was the heading of that article, by the way? Every day I wake up with the taste of blood in my mouth.
Indeed.
Direct
Max at Legora.
quote from Max at Legora.
Yeah. Legora has managed to win deals like the largest law firm in Sweden. And when the largest law firm in Sweden backs your company by buying the product early, and it is early, Legora is only a few years old, if that, 2 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. It means that you can integrate into the company and you can build while that law firm grows and grows and grows. And as it grows, my rebuttal to the article is you become, as a company, as Legora, more and more integrated into that platform business. And at the point when these enterprise platform companies are able or want to try and integrate and do this kind of whole, big, oh, we're going to solve everything type thing. You can just integrate into the whole thing. They're going to be basically like hardwired. Legora will be hardwired into the business processes of that law firm.
Yeah.
That's my thesis, I guess.
So fair. I think there's a point in this article that I'll scroll up to if we're still sharing it, but I'll read it out if not. But the author of the piece, who is, by the way, a managing director at Thoma Bravo, says these structural challenges show why we believe established software platforms such as Salesforce, SAP, Microsoft, and portfolio companies like Anaplan and Coupa that we invest in at Thoma Bravo will be more durable despite the risks of AI disruption to their businesses. So like what I take from this is a horse and carriage seller says cars aren't going to work.
Yeah.
That's my take. Because yes, he can say, you know, you can say that like, oh, they're not a threat. Maybe it's like a flash in the pan. Maybe it's like they scale too quickly. Maybe they're not, they're trying to do everything all at once and that's not good enough, there is truth in that. However, like we have to remember that the Salesforces, the SAPs, the Microsoft, the Anaplans, the Coupas, they were also once in that stage, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
they also had enterprise integral businesses that they were trying to beat. And
they were challenger brands at one point, right?
Obviously,
they were challenger brands at one point, and so I think the take is, I don't completely disregard it, but I don't think it's actually, I don't think this is how it's going to work. I don't think that's how it's going to play. I think that with regards to like the moat, I guess the returning moat for, let's say, a Salesforce, right? There was an amazing tweet on this. I can't remember who it was, but like one of their biggest moats is, I just can't be bothered to get off the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you've got enterprise clients for Salesforce, probably like over 100,000 employees at a firm using it. Same with SAP, same with Microsoft, however that's integrated into the system. But in my opinion, the biggest moat they have is like, God, it's going to be a lot of effort to get off this thing.
I have to shut my company down not shut my company down, but stop accepting new clients to be able to offboard myself.
Like imagine moving Salesforce, like that is like essentially the heart of many like large enterprise businesses. Imagine the CTO going into the boardroom and saying like, yeah, so top of the list today, guys, is we're gonna switch out Salesforce. And it's the same with Anaplan, right? A financial management platform. They're a competitor of Pigment, that my old company that Tim Bravo acquired. You like, it is so time consuming and hard to rip these products out, and that's a great thing. I think that's like, it's a great thing to be sticky and fully integrated into a company, but I don't think that that's a moat to die on, right? That will only last so long.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing now, like the companies of today are being built from the ground up with these AI tools that you mentioned, like Legora or with an Attio. So that integration piece is there today, and I think that the landscape will look a whole lot different in in like 10 years, right? I mean, how long has Salesforce been alive?
Well, if Legora kept a law firm on for 10 years, think how integrated they'll be into a process. And again, it'll be the same case. It works in cycles. Offboarding onto a different platform, whether that's a legacy player or not, an enterprise company or not, will be a big thing, because humans will have ingrained into their workflows a problem that means switching is just going to become way too painful, essentially.
And that is like, I'm saying that it shouldn't be viewed upon as like a moat in terms of like how integrated the software is. It is a moat in terms of like, when Salesforce announced Agentforce, like about a year and a half ago, maybe just close to 2 years ago, it scared a lot of people in the industry in terms of competitors, because they were like, oh, well, wow, like these guys are already in every business, right? So like that was one thing that they had over. They're already in all the enterprise companies in the world.
Yeah.
So that was like a scary moment for the competitors. But the thing that like, and they used that as a moat, which again, it is kind of, it's a head start. We're already in the companies. Now we just layer on top this like agentic workflow stuff. And now boom, now we've got like the whole S&P 500 using our agentic platform. That is a lovely world to live in. However, when you're running a company that's got 90,000 employees, you cannot move at that pace. You just can't. So every single competitor that pops up will absolutely destroy you in terms of like time to action, speed, execution, everything. Like people in these startups could do like with a good cracked team, right? You need the talent, obviously. They could do what Salesforce, like it would take Salesforce a year to try and compete with, like, I genuinely believe like a month worth of work of like an actually locked in set of like engineers at a startup.
Okay, so the ex-CEO of Reddit, Yishan, posted a tweet in November 2025. If we can pull this up, that'd be great.
Cool. Are we on?
But essentially, he is saying,
just me, Luke. Cool.
The big players aren't slow incumbents anymore. It's wrong to apply the analogy of a fast startup and a slow incumbent here, which in the ChatGPT Anthropic world, you just can't apply the fact that they are slow incumbents. They're not. They're as fast as a startup that is 6 months old.
Yeah.
And that is true, right? So what he's saying is it's now flipped, right? They're just big players with very deep pockets, and they can move as fast as possible. He believes that there's two ways AI application startup founders can make money: make a flash in the pan app, and basically get a ton of money, bank it, and then you're good. Okay, you're off to the races. Maybe sell it, whatever.
You're laughing.
But create something of super high value very quickly, in a very niche part of the market, and bank that money, and then you're good. Okay.
So he's saying that like you own the whole thing and you take the cash from
basically
the actual ARR. Cash that's going into your bank.
Bootstrap it, and maybe or raise a little bit of money or whatever.
Maybe like a levels IO.
I guess, yeah. And then the other thing, or the next thing that he's saying, the other way to win or to make money is make a good enough app that you get acquired by one of the big players. And that's what, I guess Convergence did, being bought by Salesforce. Is make something good enough that the team / product is then bought at a premium at what you've raised / what you make. The best odds of, and he says the best odds of finding an application niche in a highly specialized field with extremely unique and specific data barriers. An example would be a Waymo, for example, or a Wave, using real-time data that maybe like an OpenAI just wouldn't necessarily have the time to do. They might have the capital, but they don't have the
that draws away from the focus.
Exactly. It's a different game. Whereas a software, it's a similar game. It's a game that they could probably win. I mean, especially with the new. So Claude have just released Claude Cowork that effectively kills a ton of businesses, because it's a way for normies, not kind of the techie people, to really like 10x / 100x their productivity. Do you agree with this?
I think
this is an interesting take. It's different to the article, but it's saying that the big players, not the enterprise companies, not the Salesforces, it's the foundational level. At the foundational level, that's the key risk here to all of these other smaller companies serving very specific problems. I don't know.
I think this guy's bang on in terms of how can the startup founders make money, right? Like he's missed the third option, which is like actually build something that goes on the generational run, like a Lovable, like an 11 Labs, right? Like I'm sure Matty and Anton are sitting on some nice cash. But like, I mean, like make a flash in the pan app that generates a ton of cash. But I'd put that more into a bootstrapped sort of like indie hacker style. They're still a founder, obviously, but I don't think it comes into the same like area. But I mean, the main thing I'm taking away is here he's not including like take on venture capital, build the app or the application, whatever you're doing that way, and then scale it. I guess maybe he's kind of referring to that when you make a good enough app that you get acquired by one of the big players for sufficient equity. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to cough into the mic, cough all over our viewers, cough in your ears. But we've seen this. The Base 44 founder coded up Base 44 in, I think it was like 6 months, and then had a 9-figure exit to Wix. I saw a tweet recently of I think they must be in one of Wix's offices or something, but it's like they have this like tiny little area, and it's like that guy just smashed it so hard. Like took him 6 months to build it. It was running for 6 months. It probably took him longer than 6 months to build it, to be fair. But it was running for like 6 months.
Put a ton of money into just ads, into just like
it was it was a Lovable, Replit, Bolt.new competitor that like had okay enough traction, and it was kind of when all these things were popping off as well. So I think Wix just saw it as like, this guy could be a serious player, and then swooped in with like 100 M's and bought it. But again, that he probably owned, I think he owned like 100%. I don't think he had any investors.
But then what do you think about if you're a legacy company or in a legacy industry like a wealth management, law, or whatever, and law are actually becoming more, I would see them as less legacy in terms of their workflows. They
what, like the industry of
law, as well as like consultants. I think they're taking up this kind of like AI workflow vibe, that's becoming part of the normal life, like general life. You know you're going to be working with an LLM if you're working in those industries.
I think so, but only like we're looking at
it's
it
different
through
to
the
things like
lens of like the bubble that we live in. But imagine like the industry of like we're seeing it through the people, you know, like the Lagoras. We're seeing the work that Lagora is doing, and like I guess I'm magnifying that towards the law industry. It's probably like still like 90% of it's probably got absolutely nothing going on in terms of like AI stuff. I'd say it's probably still one of the more the area that's still like in its like immature, in its more immature state in terms of like AI application and rollout. I think because all the news that we get is from like sources that would, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, like all my news on AI law is through whatever Lagora is doing.
Okay, true.
And also Investments, to be fair, shout out to the Investments boys. They were great, actually. They were such good guests. I love telling the story of.
I actually wrote about them in the article I just posted.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Because but what I'm saying is, my argument is that what about those startups that are like really integrated, like the Vestance guys? They said to us like they literally have an office. Their office is in the law firm. They sit next to a lawyer, interrogate every single workflow they do, understand all the hurdles. Pick it out and build it live. And then like literally live on the spot, the lawyer's workflow has changed to use something else that is like highly specialized to that lawyer and what they're doing. It's almost like like you've got a personalized, you have a personal developer.
It's like an agent. You've got your own, but a human, a biological agent.
Like literally like a little angel on your shoulder, just like coding away.
A little Vestance angel.
And like, oh, you did that? Why did you do that? This is way easier to go and do this. Whatever.
But I remember.
And to what I'm saying, like, would you ever have, like, is that another way to win? Is that if you're an AI startup and you've raised maybe a few million quid pre-seed or seed, the way to win is to literally sit next to your customers and integrate yourself into their daily life as much as you humanly possibly can. And then all of these enterprise companies just won't be able to provide that service because it's not as personalized.
Which like spend time with your customers.
And that's like number 3 way of winning, in my opinion. I think that's not been seen. And you know, we were talking about the forward deployed engineers. That's becoming more of a thing.
I hate that so much.
But it's the same. I mean, like that's what the Vestance guys are doing, basically.
No, I agree, but it's just like
but they're just doing it at a smaller scale, in a more niche way. But that niche way is probably quite lucrative because a lawyer is going to pay a lot more money to save, 2 hours of their time on a very specific problem. But like they don't have to necessarily like take time away to onboard themselves onto an OpenAI or whatever, or on an existing LLM.
Forward deployed founders. But I mean, it's just like it's the tale of any bit. Spend time with your customers. Like that's just what you do. That's what you should be doing.
But now it's gone from spend time with your customers on email and live in customer's office.
If you're not customer office maxing, then you're going to lose. But that forward deployed thing, it really
bugs me.
It really grinds my gears. It really grinds my gears.
Why?
I just think that it's like I think okay. So one, I don't think it's new. I think it's always been a thing. It's just like you send a technical person.
Oh yeah, that's true.
To go spend time with the customer and help like implement whatever we were doing that at Pigment like 4 years. It was just a solution architect.
It's just got a shiny new name,
and that's why it's cool. But I think Palantir did an amazing job of like remarketing like the fact that they spend time with customers. It's like it's not that mad. Everyone was like, oh, the forward deployed engineer. They're just sending a technical person to go and like work with the customer for a bit. Like I don't think we should be raving and going all loony about it.
Which is what we're doing.
Which is what I'm doing that right now. I guess I'm like I'm stuck in this paradoxical loop.
Well, let us know if you have any thoughts on the risky bet by AI startups, which I believe is not actually as risky as this article is saying.
This is financial advice.
In our newsletter, no, it's not. In our newsletter, we have tagged the articles. You can go and read it there. The link is in our bio.
Check it out.
Go check it out. Quick word from our sponsor, Airwallex. Leave outdated business banking behind.
Get
The
it
all-in-one
behind you.
financial platform built for the pace of modern business. Multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, online payments, all in one place. Go to airwallex.com. That car took me a long time to build. It was long.
Who we got next on the? Sorry, in terms of news.
What have we got next? Google.
Google's ads.
Google has been doing ads for years and years and years, but they're doing AI personalized ads.
Yes.
Do you want to get the
Into
article up?
AI shopping tools. This was an article in the FT. When was it? Yesterday?
Yes.
No, maybe day before yesterday. Let me pull this bad boy up.
Jan
Play some
11th.
trumpets while we're at it as well.
Google is
heard the
introducing new
trumpet.
personalized advertising into its AI shopping tools as it seeks to make money from the hundreds of millions of people who use its chatbot for free and gain market share from rival OpenAI. Advertisers will be able to present exclusive offers to shoppers who are preparing to buy an item through Google's AI mode, which is powered by its Gemini model, the Alphabet-owned tech group announced on Sunday. The move marks a push by Google to gain an edge in the race to monetize popular chatbots as it looks to build on the success of its latest large language model, Gemini 3, which gained ground against OpenAI's ChatGPT 5. This is awesome because this is like the next thing. So like, yes, model performance is a very important thing, but can you monetize people like using the free chatbot, right?
Yeah.
So I think OpenAI ChatGPT must have more than 800 million users now, coming up closer to 1 billion.
That was like weekly users, by the way.
800
million weekly.
And now Gemini has around 650 million is the latest number that I've seen. So they're catching up, but a lot of those are free on both spectrums, right? So it's like and I think this is a perfect move from Google, purely because now OpenAI is in code red. They are trying to improve their model. Gemini has caught up to an extent. It's probably a little bit further behind. I mean, a lot of people are moving over to Gemini. I've had countless people say to me, "Oh, dude, have you tried Gemini? It's great. Like it's really, really impressive." And now they're moving into ads and they're like running at ads, which is really interesting.
AI ads.
AI ads.
Yeah. I think it's dude, it's Google.
Yeah.
I'm like just watching every single day.
And they're doing it more aggressively now. Like the chatbot usage is up, right? Is just growing and growing. Great. Now how do we monetize that? Google are focusing on it. OpenAI aren't focusing on it.
Well, I think they've just absolutely nailed the last 3 months from a comms perspective, from a like a public sort of viewing perspective, right? Like all of this essentially, I mean, you can imagine that, right? Like we've discussed like OpenAI being through a few like trials and tribulations recently with like the initial bailout thesis. Do they have the revenue to back up the promises they're making? It's like 1.4 trillion or something in commits by 2028. The revenue's not there. Now they're gonna have to go raise funding from like private ownership, obviously. They had the code red. They were announcing like video generation stuff. They were announcing like ads, like ranking like LLM SEO type stuff. They were just, I think it was breadth, and I do think they may have slightly rested on their laurels a little bit, and sort of like left this open for the taking. Whereas Google's just seemed to like really do a really good job of like controlling the situation from a commerce perspective as well. And it's just like when you think about like I just cannot see a realm in which they lose anymore, because they own everything. They've got the infinite money machine, which is ads.
I'm pretty sure Elon Musk he didn't tweet.
So that was on the they announced the agentic protocol.
Oh, this was on Apple's deal, which we'll cover a little bit later.
But Musk said he's like, this is like come on guys, this isn't fair.
Well, back in 2025
talk about.
they were gonna like cut Alphabet in terms of like they were gonna
there's always like
separate a ton.
Like,
yeah. It's just a monopoly.
But I just can't see them winning, right? Like they're building their own, they're training their own stuff. They've got the infinite money machine coming in. They're competing with like OpenAI, who like have been a bit spread a bit too thin, and also need to constantly be worried about like capital. Like I remember seeing a video of Ilya like a few, or maybe it was Greg.
I mean,
Brockman,
all the
can't
fund
remember.
managers on the FT especially are all saying that it's that they're just burning so much money that like where is their revenue coming from?
Do you know what's really interesting actually that I'm realizing right now, right? Like, so when, like, let's rewind 4 or 5 months ago when it was just OpenAI, like, everywhere was just.
And now Google
OpenAI.
was mooning. It's now a $4 trillion company.
But what I'm saying is, like, you know, the bailout scares were interesting, but that there was a sense that, like, wow, if this actually does flop, if it can't live up to what's been promised by Sama, this will cause like a financial crash.
Yeah.
Like, this would mess up everything. This would, like, it would kill the narrative of AI. Like, OpenAI fails. They are the most well-known, you know, lab.
Yeah.
It would kill the narrative of AI. The market would react in a terrible way. Everything would be down. It would probably cause the next like massive global recession or whatever. It would be like a black swan event, essentially, is what I'm saying. And now, like, this is a good like ETF, sort of emotional ETF of like where we're at in terms of like who's winning the AI race. Now I feel like if that happened, it wouldn't be that bad, because you just think that, oh, it's all good, man. Google, hey, like, here's the baton.
Yeah,
like, you go now. Like,
Yeah.
this is your go. Like, you get to go now. Like, I don't think it would be as scary anymore. I think that I feel safe.
Well, I think they
feel
have
safe in a little Google hug. I know, you know, a little Google AGI hug, and it feels
and it
good.
feels great.
It feels amazing.
It feels great. Okay,
yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Okay, hit me.
So what happens if an item is a better, so I prompt, I want a cashmere jumper.
Yeah.
My prompt, an item is a better recommendation for my prompt, but another company is selling a similar product and paying more for an ad.
Yeah.
What then happens?
Yeah, so I was looking into this. I think that, I don't know in terms of like how the traditional advertising in terms of rank works. I guess it's maybe just whoever pays the most.
Well, that's the thing.
If
it does, then surely they're just shooting themselves in the foot because the product isn't as good, because they're not.
It's not as personalized.
Not as personal. It's
Yeah.
not as it's not as right.
Yeah.
It's not as correct.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Like, what's the trade-off there between like monetization and like preference and personalization? I think
are there ad laws that combat that?
I don't know, but I think they probably haven't been invented yet. Yeah, because they're moving so fast.
I assume Google AI has to decide like whether what offer is the most likely to convert.
Yeah.
It uses all the training. It uses all the data that you've got from that person. What offer will likely convert? What have they bought in the past? What are they searching for? What are they like on Instagram? What are they like on social media? All of that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, I want this cashmere jumper, or I want this cashmere jumper. But it will push one of them just based on purely what one do you think I will actually buy. Because if say this company has paid less and this company's paid more, but it pushes for an ad on Google, but it pushes this, and I, for some reason, haven't been searching necessarily in my in 6 months that they've been training.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to buy it, and then everyone loses.
Yeah. So I guess it has to be on like preference. Then I imagine that, you know, let's say that a company sells, I don't know, something weird like Peruvian flutes, and they're the richest company in the world, and the Peruvian flute company says, we want to pay 100 trillion to be ranked number 3rd, and you start getting adverts for Peruvian flutes.
Yes.
You're going to be like, the hell? I'm not starting a Peruvian flute band, am I? So that wouldn't really like make sense.
But
getting some feedback there.
We're getting a little bit of feedback, FYI.
Oh, it's in a different room.
That's good. If you can hear that, we apologize. Anyway, Google is making a strategic shift from traditional search ads, away from traditional search ads. Their revenue in 2024 was about 198 billion from traditional search ads, and now they're moving away. What do you think do you think they'll increase revenue from like just under 200 billion?
Sorry, I was just so focused on that noise that I couldn't hear what you said. This now stopped. Thank gosh for that.
I don't even know what that was.
I think it was drilling.
Well, that's
Get some
good.
drilling upstairs.
We have drilling going on
They
somewhere.
are upgrading the building. It looks like. Sorry,
They're
what was your
building
question?
maxing.
I forgot. I didn't hear your question.
Drilling, don't worry, we're good. So I said Google's revenue was 198 billion from the traditional search ads that they've been doing for years and years and years.
Infinite money machine.
Indeed. They're obviously now moving away from that. That's quite a big thing. I think
they're still doing it.
Yeah, but they're going to be focusing on personalized AI ads now. It's like
they're just adding a layer on top of it.
Yeah. Just
like you can now, use the Google AI shopping tool.
But surely that will eat into that revenue to then go and scale.
Because it's all coming back to Google, isn't it?
Because if your company, well, yeah, it is. Because if your company wants to advertise online, you have to either do. I guess you could do both, but
you're doing traditional SEO and then also introducing the shopping tool to the AI shopping.
Are you not paying? Are you not paying both? Are you paying both then?
Maybe, yeah. But I mean,
would you pay both? I don't know.
I'd assume if you got the cash there, you might as well, right?
Yes.
You want to fling them products out the door.
We had a tweet by Lindsay Owens who said, "Big/bad news for consumers. Google is out today with an announcement of how they plan to integrate shopping into their AI offerings, including search and Gemini. The plan includes personalized upselling, i.e. analyzing your chat data and using it to overcharge you." This is one of two. They'll be working with some of the biggest names in retail to swap data and train their algorithm into a price gouging behemoth. Companies like Lowe's, Michaels, and Reebok have already signed onto the pilot. Fasten your seatbelts for the next phase of surveillance pricing. You had a take on this. We spoke about this.
Yeah, yesterday. I'm just rereading it. So she seems to highlight capabilities for business to provide personalized recommendations and upsells based on user context. I don't think.
Does that mean everyone gets personalized pricing?
But so her quote here, the plan includes personalized upselling, i.e. analyzing your chat data and using it to overcharge you. That's not upselling. Like upselling is like you buy an initial product and then you then go on to buy another product that's either related to that product or from the same place or like related to your, like, I don't think this is just personalized ads with like an agentic layer on.
It's already there, Lindsay. It's already there.
Yeah, Lindsay, it's already happening.
It's already happened.
Wake up, Lindsay. It's there. Like I don't understand like what this seems like rage bait to me.
Doom and gloom, game over. Well, I mean, how many did the tweet do? Well, yeah, 350k views, pretty well.
I mean, that's what rage bait does.
Nice one.
People rage. I'm rage, not enraged. I'm just slightly perturbed, I'd say. But yeah, I don't think this is like a new sort of scary sort of thing. This is just, in my opinion, it's great. Yeah, I'd like more relevant. I don't want to be getting my Peruvian flute adverts. I want, I don't know, a Airwallex Lego car or something like that. I want something that's more related to what I search for. And if they can narrow that down, then that's a great thing.
Great. I buy less rubbish. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
I buy less Peruvian flutes. I buy more Airwallex Lego cars.
Yeah, I mean, I want the things that I want. Like, I don't even know that I want them yet sometimes.
Yeah.
If I see a thing and it's like super, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. I didn't even know I could buy that.
Yeah, sick. That's great news. Like, I don't know why this is bad. It's like, it's a great thing. I saw this the other day. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but
that's actually such a good point. Personalized ads is a great thing because you buy less of the stuff that you don't want.
I mean, I don't know. Humans like big bad tech. Like
humans have
profit maximizing off me, like taking the money out of my pocket. It's
like, I'm gonna buy more rubbish that I don't want and then buy the thing.
No one's forcing you to buy the thing. Like, just don't buy it if you don't want it.
Humans are flawed because they buy stuff that they think that they might want and then eventually they don't want.
Yeah, I mean,
or in reality, they might not want. But then personalized ads makes it more likely that you'll actually buy something that you do want.
Yeah, and also like find me a river. Like, oh no, you end up with like an extra toothbrush or something. Like, no one cares. Like, do you know what I mean? I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a great thing. Yes, now, and I'm seeing like these ad upgrades that are happening. In terms of like how streamlined it is from like one, we had like the Amazon's buy now thing that was like one click. I remember I first used that and I hit buy now and it was like, it's on its way. I was like, what the hell? Like, there's no like credit card stuff. It's pre-saved. It's like no address stuff. It's like no confirm order. It's just like buy now, done. And I was like, that's sick. But I was watching on Saturday. Me and my flatmate had a Lord of the Rings marathon.
Yeah, you did.
And we were watching. We did the first two. It was extended like cutscene one. So the first one was 3 hours. The second one was 4 hours. So 7 hours total of Lord of the Rings watching back to back. Which, by the way, was an excellent Saturday.
God, you've really. When everyone says, "Oh, like attention spans are getting so." Short.
I saw
It's game over.
I saw a tweet on that. It was like,
people can only watch reels for 20
yeah,
seconds.
not me. I'm immune. But I remember I saw.
Not me. I do Lord of the Rings marathons.
Yeah, I saw a tweet on that. It's like slight tangent, but someone was tweeting out saying like, it's got to the stage now where like if I'm able to concentrate on like a film for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like that feels like a productive thing. Like it used to be like go and read a book.
Yeah.
Now it's like, because we've just been, our generation's been TikTokified and short form contentified. There's like,
pat yourself on the back. You can watch a movie.
Watching a film is like,
I don't know if anyone's watched the Avatar movie, but I went to the cinema for the first time in like months. I haven't been to cinema in ages. And I was absolutely excited. I was so excited just to put my phone down and just like concentrate on one thing.
Yeah.
For like, it turned out to be like 4 hours. I don't know how long.
Did you turn your phone off?
Phone was off,
Nice,
not pinging, which is actually the worst thing. I mean, I can focus on like tasks if I'm working, and that's fine. I can turn my phone off, right? Yeah. But it was the fact that I was literally just like fixated on this one thing was like was great. Yeah. It was so nice.
It was nice to just lock
so
in.
nice.
Locked
if you
in
don't go
at the cinema.
I was locked in
on the film.
I was locked in.
I mean, the director would be.
I also have I have an input about Lindsay's tweet, by the way.
Yeah.
Producer says, I think her point was more, I think her point was more, it will like adjust pricing based on you personally. So if you're richer, they'll increase the price. So it's like how flights work. Some depend on your location.
Yeah.
Bad, good thing.
I mean, like that's obviously annoying, right? We shouldn't be charging people with more money. Like a toothbrush is the price of it, it's £2 or quid or whatever.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be £5 for.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably work on Bill Gates after that video. Do you remember the video of him when they asked him like how much is a carton of milk?
Oh, yeah, it's like $10.
It's like $14. Yeah. They're like, no, it's like way off. It's like 6x, 7x what it should be. It's so a joke.
Yeah. Do it to the people that just don't get it.
But I didn't. But like, even that, I think is bad. Like, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think you should be charging. An item is worth what someone would pay for it. To be fair, but I don't think you should be like, you should be using like AI to like manipulate.
I think there's an extent
based on.
I think there's an extent where it works. There's an extent where it isn't. If I want to buy a McLaren F1 car, Lego obviously,
one,
yeah. If I'm buying a McLaren F1 car in real life, yeah, definitely do it to me. That's how you should definitely.
What, you want it more expensive? Oh, what? Because you'll just buy it for anything.
Because if you can afford a McLaren F1 car, then yeah, you can probably buy a toothbrush that's like 6x the price of a normal toothbrush.
Yeah.
And don't care.
That's true. And we have to bear in mind as well, they're also increasing shareholder value. So like, I would hate to.
Anything to increase shareholder value,
I would hate to
a good thing.
Yeah, stop the Google teams increasing shareholder value.
Yes.
Actually, I am a shareholder, so yeah, I'm pro all of this. Charge me whatever you want. That's all fine. I'm happy with it.
Goes back into my pocket.
Yeah.
Just a quick word from our sponsor, Polymarket. Be the world's largest prediction market. Stay informed and profit from your knowledge. Go to polymarket.com.
Yeah, we have some merch actually.
It's up here.
Yeah, I've got.
I hope the viewers can see.
T-shirt actually. Let's just do a little duo. Like, I'll hold this side, you hold that side. Check this bad boy out. Just a nice, clean,
looks lovely.
Polymarket T-shirt that we've got. We've also got a few other knickknacks, but we've got the cap here. Oh, that's well nicer than this one. Not that this one's not nice. Just a clean.
Put the nicer one on.
Clean blue. I don't want to mess up my hair today.
Oh, fair.
Do you want to mess up yours?
No, not really.
Okay.
We need to put that back.
Yeah. Well, this one's going to go down here for now. We need to find it a place on the shelf. But shout out to Polymarket for the amazing merch.
Big up the world's largest prediction market.
Yeah.
You can see the ticker.
Profit from your knowledge, guys. Profit from your knowledge.
Just do it. Next on the roster, we have Hyro Capital's 500 million euro plan for Europe.
Oh yeah.
So we covered Hyro Capital. Basically, Nick Clegg joined as a GP of Hyro Capital. They are now announcing Hyro Capital's 500 million euro fund. I believe, have they raised it, or is this like a...
I don't know.
So Sifty came out with an article, inside Hyro Capital's 500 million euro plan for European startups. We can shift the dial, Nick Clegg says. So here we go. The former UK Deputy Prime Minister, who went on to serve 6 years as Meta's head of global affairs, announced he is joining Hyro Capital, a European VC firm with offices in London and Luxembourg, as a GP. The firm, which describes itself as investing in the super abundant future of humanity, that's pretty good saying, has so far focused on gaming and virtual reality startup, but recent technological advances and growing enthusiasm for so-called world models in AI, spearheaded by ex-Meta chief science Jan Lee Kun, who has also joined Hyro in an advisory role. So when this came out, when Nick Clegg, the news about Nick Clegg came out as a GP, there were so many tweets against his tweet saying like, short Hyro Capital, short this, short that, short this.
Yeah. I saw a few. I was saying it would be funny if like Nick Clegg
join the show.
Well, yeah, obviously we have
open
invite for you, Nicholas. We'd love you to join. But I was saying that we actually need to make that happen. I was saying, wouldn't it be funny if you're on LinkedIn one day or on X and like you get a message from Nick Clegg like, "Hey man, like saw you're in stealth. Would love to know what you're building." Or like, can I?
Yo, Nick Clegg.
Like, it looks super exciting. Like, would love to know what you're building. But yeah, I mean, look, the
be like, shouldn't you be in the chambers by now? What are you doing?
The article is good.
So let me go through the nice take. Let me go through the thesis of the 500 million euros. There's a gap in Europe when it comes to scale up capital. Luke Alvarez, the business veteran and philosopher who founded Hyro in 2018, tells Sifted, "We have a really good tech scene, brilliant engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, but then a kind of valley of death once you get past Series B." We've talked about it on the show. It's less about the capital need. Like, we have the capital. It's more about the distribution. And so this is great. This is a narrative shift. This is let's put the capital where it should be, which is in follow-on funding, making sure that companies being built in Europe, they can go to the US, they can go to anywhere else in the world that they want to go. But if we can keep the slice of the pie that we have incubated here, a great thing. 500 million euros to go and do that. Kudos to the Hyro Capital team.
Yeah, it's cool. I love the fact that Jan Lee Kun is
great article.
Yeah, it's great. Next, no, I love the fact that Jan Lee Kun is like spearheading this as an advisor for what they're working on for the future of like the fund. I don't think people realize like how important it is that these guys do a good job, because we've said it before on the show, as you mentioned, right? Is that valley of death is a real thing. It was like Dan Gray had some amazing.
We've had so many people talk about it. Dan Gray obviously was like, great.
Yeah, he was exceptional, and he's like incredibly just like well traversed in space, like absolute genius for this type of stuff. There is no. Go follow him.
Go follow
Dan Gray. He's got amazing takes on the venture ecosystem, but
he needs more followers. I don't know why he doesn't have.
He should have a billion followers. 1/9 of the world should listen to Dan Gray. Are we at 9 billion yet, like population wise?
We're above, I believe. Are we at 9 billion? I don't know.
Search it up. If we are. I have no idea. Anyway, but yeah, I don't think people understand how important it is that these guys succeed, purely because, like, yes, this is a problem. The valley of death is real, and these guys are saying, "Hey, we're going to try and change it." And it's like, I genuinely believe if we sort that problem out,
that's it. That is the only thing that they need to do. Yes, they can raise the money. They can put money at, like, obviously, like, put money where their mouth is, obviously. But like we've said this before, there's a narrative problem here. And it's all about getting things in a globally read, news piece, article, and saying it.
Yeah.
It's almost like Timothy Chalamet saying, "Oh, I'm
destined for greatness. I'm in pursuit of greatness.
I'm in pursuit of greatness." Yeah, it's like Nick Clegg. I am in pursuit of greatness for European tech.
Nick Clegg win like a Grammy or an Emmy or whatever. make that speech. That will rally the troops.
So founder Lucas Alvarez said the new fund is designed to keep Europe's best deep tech companies scaling at home rather than selling early or relocating to the US. Again, I don't think the relocation is the main problem here. It's it's where they're getting their follow-on capital from is the main thing. Even if they're in the US, you can still
what they're saying is like the relocation part is in search of that follow-on capital for
exactly.
growth stage,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
we lose the founders.
But that's the thing. They go to other places in the world
to get the money.
To get the money.
Yeah, which is like, again, like we're always pro. Go wherever you want to build your business where it'll be the most successful. If that place is the US, you should absolutely do it. But like if we look at the from a growth perspective and like a macro perspective of the UK and Europe in general, like this unlock would be really, really good. Imagine if we had like European funded startups raising these massive B, C, D round that go on to be like, we have 11 labs and we have Lovable, but we could have loads more. We could have loads more that would stay in Europe and it would be a great thing. So I think this is a massive unlock for growth. I think if they succeed and they show that they are succeeding to the world, then I think we'll see more of these. And I think that we need more of these.
Indeed. I also think more people are speaking about it, which is great. Another thing, another example would be Nick at Atio wrote a tweet, I don't know, maybe like a week ago.
Yeah.
And he said, I've never been more excited to build my company in London. Like, love the city.
Yeah.
And that's great. We should be Europe maxing by saying we're doing that.
Yeah, just speak it into existence.
Speak it into existence.
It is a real thing. Manifest.
Indeed.
Manifest.
Talking about speaking into existence, Spectre, be the reason your fund wins the deal of the decade. With Spectre, go to tryspectre.com. Harness the power of live data and AI-driven analysis to outsmart the competition and make confident decisions in private markets. Go to tryspectre.com.
Try it out today. You don't want to not be the reason your fund
is just there.
Wins the deal of the decade. Imagine missing the deal of the decade.
Talking about the deal of the decade, should we talk about Boulderton? Or is that too late?
You've jumped like
I've jumped
much stuff. I mean, the next up is a deal. It's HartmanAI, and they've raised 200 million Series B.
Okay, we can talk about that one.
So let's just pull that one up first.
Sorry, everyone.
Luke's just a bit of an eager beaver. He loves the Boulderton team.
Big up. Turning M's into B's.
Also, just checking. Can Marcus, can we like these noises that are soundboard? I can't hear them, but
we can hear them.
Cool.
We can hear them. We're good.
Nice. I want to play the money one for this.
Here comes the money.
I can't hear that one. You can hear it?
I can nice. Semi-hear
Marcus
it.
is like fully jamming out right now, and I'm hoping that you guys are too.
Our producer's on his feet. He's driving around.
He's having a great time over there.
Just pop some bottles, actually.
But the French drone maker HartmanAI raises 200 million Series B at a 1.4 billion valuation. It's minted Europe's most recent unicorn. And we're only in
Let's go.
Mid January. So great starts to the year for the continent. What is HartmanAI? It is a Paris-based defense tech building autonomous drones for military use, and it's raised a 200 million Series B. The round was led by Dassault Aviation, a major French manufacturer of military aircraft and business jets, and brings Harmattan's valuation to 1.4 billion, confirming previous sifted reporting. They got there first.
Mr. Macron comes in with a tweet and a bit of commentary about it. An essential partnership with Dassault Aviation and a significant fundraising round for Harmattan AI grant it the status of a new. This is translation.
It translates. Yeah, he tweeted in French.
Anyway, this is excellent news for our strategic autonomy. For the technological superiority
what you're saying?
of our armed forces in the field of AI activated defense drones, as well as for our economy. Basically, this is great news. Congrats to Harmattan.
I've said it once. I'll say it before. I love the fact that Macron posts about companies that are raising.
You said it once.
I think the UK do it a bit. So actually, I've not seen Keir Starmer do it. Actually,
no.
Has he? He might have.
Not on tech. Know. Well, it's more Kanishka, I guess, is the kind of front runner for doing maybe. That kind of stuff.
But yeah, I love it.
Rishi Sunak was a prime minister that would do that a little bit.
Yeah, is he in VC now? Is he also going into VC? He was at Goldman, wasn't he?
Yeah,
before?
Goldman. He's he's finance guy. But
do you remember when he got ripped apart for wearing Adidas shoes? Did you see that?
Hilarious. Yeah.
That was so funny. He wore those shoes. It was like. Yeah, the reaction was like, "Hey, like
I'm a normal human being.
Where are we gonna hang, guys? Like, who's hanging 5 at the skate park?" Didn't really go down too well. Poor bloke. And I think he apologized for it as well, which is even worse. Super funny though.
Stick to the brogues. Stick to the brogues.
Yeah,
is
you
what
can't
I
go wrong
say.
with a nice pair of brogues.
You really,
But
you really
we got
can't.
a bit distracted. This is really cool.
200 million Series B, big
What's
round.
interesting about this, though, even in the sifted piece here, I guess how they're describing Harmattan, like Harmattan have decided they will be described like this, is they've gone straight in for military use, like autonomous drones for military use. Like previously in Europe, a lot of the stuff that we were seeing was like dual use, where there's like the civilian applications, but there's also like military applications, and it was kind of still in that like, oh, you know, like we don't want to say that we're doing defense, but we kind of are doing defense, and it's not really defense, it's offense type of thing. But now I think, you know, people are becoming more sovereign. There's more like, you know, what's happening on the world stage. Do you think we should maybe, you know, arm ourselves with these killer drones? Answer is yes, apparently.
Again, speaking it into existence.
Yeah, but I mean, more specifically, what do they do? It's Sifted to cover it here pretty well. Harmattan builds low cost and high volume autonomous drones and is currently developing 3 products: a training focused system, a surveillance drone, and a drone designed to intercept weapons. The startup has secured. Wait, hold on. Reading that again. A training focused system. Oh, okay, so there's nothing offensive there, I guess. I mean, maybe there is. A surveillance drone. The startup has secured 2 programs of record PORs with the French and the UK Ministries of Defence. In July last year, the French Defence Ministry said it had ordered 1,000 drones from Harmattan. A few months later, the company said it would deliver 3,000 systems as part of a multi-million program.
Didn't the UK government buy some as well?
By the UK Ministry of Defence. Yeah. The UK is getting stuck in.
2K.
The UK say, I want some of them drones. That's what they say.
French buying 1,000 drones, UK buying 2,000 drones.
3,000.
Harmattan, 3,000 total.
No.
No?
A few months later, the company.
I'm pretty sure that's what I read.
Part of oh yeah, sorry. No, well, the company will. I'm not sure what they're saying in terms of who's getting the drones here. French Defence Ministry said it had ordered 1,000. The French Defence Ministry said it had ordered 1,000 from Harmattan. A few months later, the company said it would deliver 3,000 systems as part of a multi-million program led by the UK Ministry of Defence. Are they saying that the Ministry of Defence is receiving those 3,000 systems, or are they saying that the Ministry of Defence led the program in order to deliver those systems?
Absolutely no idea.
Okay, well, Sifted, help me out here.
Anyway, the article is a great article.
It is good. Yeah.
It's a great article. Go and read it.
Wrote that one up from Sifted. So
big up to Daphne.
Big ups.
In other news, just before we jump in with our first guest, who is Max. He's been with Track Titan.
Yeah. Tyshar, I think you pronounce the second name. Or Tykart.
Tykart, I believe.
Tykart. I think it's CH.
Hold on.
Sure.
We have him in the show. Should we bring him in early?
Yeah, well, it's only a minute, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I think we have Max coming on now. Max, can you, is the audio good on your end?
All good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, dude.
Great. Good to see you guys.
Get a thumbs up from our producer to let us know that that our viewers can see you.
Live and direct.
Yeah, we can see you
Lovely.
already.
See you guys.
So we're just waiting to pull you up to the stream.
How's it going?
We'll wait for a thumbs up. Once we're up, you'll.
How are you today, Max? Are you good?
Good. Yeah, calling in from the sequel office. If you guys have been, so we're.
Are you?
No way.
We're
Alex
based there. You guys should.
Alex should be watching the show today. Is he in the office?
Is Alex nearby?
He wasn't when I checked downstairs.
Oh, I can't hear you now.
I've lost audio.
Hello.
I think our producer is sorting it. I think we're back.
Our producer's just spinning the decks.
There
we go. I think we're good. Anyway, Alex, if you can hear us, do a little jump in to Max's
Come and
screen.
say hi.
Come and say hi. First appearance on ETN, actually.
Oh yeah, stealth appearance. Yeah. We need to get him properly on. We're sorry, Max. We're just waiting for
the
final good to go. Okay, we're good. We're live.
We are live.
Wait, so you're calling in from the sequel offices? That's cool. Are you off there? What part are you?
There are neighbors, investors since the summer, and neighbors as well. So sharing kind of the top bit if you guys have been.
Oh, not yet with the balcony. I thought I recognized. I saw a photo on LinkedIn.
I knew that was the sequel balcony.
Dude, the amount of people that like. I remember when I was first there, when we were first doing our angel round, and like, I think I FaceTimed. I might have been Paddy from Odin, and he was like, "Oh, is that the sequel office?" Yeah. So cool.
Legendary. Will be even more legendary going forward, hopefully, with us.
Yeah.
Well, dude, very much agree.
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
Let's have an intro from you so the viewers know exactly who you are, and then we can go. We've got a bunch of questions for you.
Awesome. Yeah, quick intro. I'm Max, founder of Track Titan. What do we do at Track Titan? We help racing enthusiasts improve their driving. So essentially, if you play a racing game or going forward, also race in the real world, that kind of goes from beginners and amateurs all the way to pros. we pull in all your data, and we then give you automated advice on how to improve. So kind of from a VC pitch level, we kind of say this is the Strava for motorsport. So we'll go beyond coaching, kind of things, social features, data gathering, data recording, lots of social stuff. And I got into this because I used to race professionally in the virtual world, and then luckily kind of made the step into real life race cars. So kind of trying to give more people access to the beautiful sport that we're passionate about.
Oh, that's so cool.
amazing.
I love the line Strava for racing. Like that I just
We're all a bit tired of it, I think, but it actually describes pretty well what we're building. So it's usually I'm not a fan of kind of the build the X for Y, but it's pretty accurate in our case.
Yeah. No, dude, that makes complete sense. Yeah, I mean, I get it in like a second from that. I have a question in terms of like, how is that? Do you guys have like a studio, or do you sell like software that would enable somebody to do that at home? Like,
it's essentially an app that you install, right? So the number one thing is we somehow need to get your data, whether it's a real life car or a game. So you install an app, and then it's just a consumer app like any other, right? Runs on your phone, runs in your browser. So the actual insight consumption is either on the PC that you play in or on your phone, for instance.
I see. And so you can do this with virtual racing as well as real racing.
Exactly. And that's super important, right? Because if you think about sports in general, I know some people think racing is not a sport. That's for a different day. It's completely untrue.
Yeah.
But the beauty is, right, the activity of kind of turning a steering wheel, pushing a brake pedal, and so on is pretty much identical between a real life race car or road car for that matter and the virtual one. So in our views, like the activity is the same. And because racing is so prohibitively expensive, gaming is kind of the only way for a lot of people to experience this. That's what we're trying to connect the dots, if that makes sense.
I believe is it the only one of, if not the only sport that has a one-to-one between, electronic racing and or like simulated racing and real life playing the sport.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, do you guys play FIFA, NBA 2K, any of those games? Like as a comparison, maybe?
I used to play FIFA as well. I was really bad at it there.
I say what's interesting when you speak to or even play FIFA with pro footballers, like they're very good at timing, for instance, timing of passes, but the actual gameplay of FIFA doesn't automatically make you a great football player, right? The motor skills and so on quite different. Whereas, I mean, I've kind of made the step from pro virtual racing to real life racing, and I remember the first time I went to a track I've never been at, and you kind of know every braking point. You're comfortable doing 200 miles an hour somewhere we've physically never been, and I think, I mean, again, come to the FIFA comparison. It doesn't make you the next Leo Messi, right? To kind of be incredible at playing FIFA. And I think the only kind of comparable thing is flight sim, but less competitive, right? So I think on the competitive sports side, definitely racing is the only one.
That's so interesting. And like, I don't know, why do you think that is? 'Cause if I'm in a car and I'm going 200 miles an hour, as opposed to like sat in my living room racing, or even at Airwallex, they are in their office, they've got a cool racing simulator there. That would be like, why? I don't know. I feel like, how similar can the environment be? I get with the brake stuff, it probably makes loads of sense, right? Steering, gear changing, that type of stuff. Like, where do I brake?
The actual mechanics, I think, are similar, but yeah, I guess you're saying like psychologically,
I'd be terrified.
You'd be surprised. You should give it a try.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, look, like the risk element, the G-forces, is a very kind of multi-sensory experience in the real world, right? The smells, the oil, the tires, the heat in a race car, and like that you can simulate as well. But and I think that's something you can't learn in the sim, but just kind of almost being to go into autopilot mode and like, I know what corner is coming up, right? I know what gear I should take it in, and so on, at least makes the risk element a lot more bearable. Right? That doesn't mean every good racing game player is a great racing driver in the real world, but it's a lot closer than for other sports categories.
Yeah. Interesting. And like, I guess like high level, when was the business like founded? Obviously, your background is in this, right? You were racing cars, or you were doing virtual racing, then you came to real racing, like proper racing.
Yeah.
What like what's the business journey so far? Like, when were you guys founded? Where are you at today? Obviously working with SQL, which is amazing. I'd love to hear more about that that journey.
Very fortunate. So started the company in 2021. And it was kind of, I think it was a classic COVID project in hindsight, right? I've been into racing since I'm maybe 5 years old, right? Playing racing games in my lab stat. But I think at that point I was at the third VC-backed startup. So I think I've had the racing passion, seen good companies doing good and bad stuff from the inside, I'd say kind of from pre-seed to Series B. And COVID just gave me the headspace, I think, to get into the space. And that's why 2020, 2021, I think the idea came 2020. Then first line of code was actually in 2021. And I think to kind of go through the motions of, as you can imagine, this is not the most obviously VC backable company out there, right? in hindsight, it might seem like now it's with SQL, with Partech, and so on. I think there's a lot more there. But first, we had to prove, hey, does anyone need this? And in our minds, it was always extremely obvious. I don't know if you guys are competitive about any sports, any activity, right? But if you are, you get why people would use a product to get better at something you love. Whereas many VCs always said, why would a gamer care about getting better in a game? Which a billion people would disagree with, right? Or even more. But again, built that, monetized it in 2022, raised the pre-seed with Concept Ventures, if you know the guys there, and APX in Berlin. And then I think it was more about proving scalability. And I think from a go-to-market standpoint, 2025 was a big unlock for that, and hence the 5 million seed in towards the end of last year.
Okay, nice.
I didn't know Concept were involved, like recent Oliver.
Yeah.
Since pre-revenue, which is pretty nuts, right? And I think Ollie, if you know him, he's a massive gamer. So I think he saw the FIFA comparison. At that point, we'd actually considered building maybe an MVP for FIFA as well. Didn't happen in hindsight because we wanted to focus on racing and rather go into the real world. But again, I think if you understand the obsessiveness about a sport, whether it's football or racing, and luckily Ollie from Concept did.
That's sick.
And I assume I completely agree. And I think sport is obviously like, massive in terms of it's just ingrained in people's life. And I think gaming is still a little bit more niche. But what are the numbers behind gamers and I guess professional gaming? Is it really, really growing now? I have no idea about the industry.
Yeah, I mean, like gaming as an industry is gigantic, right? It's bigger than music and film combined. I think people high level know that, but I think within that, sports is what people think is a niche category. But think about racing alone, right? There's 200 million people playing racing games. It's one of the biggest mobile game categories, especially. So I think it is within gaming a niche, but gaming is so humongous that we don't need to be as big as a first-person shooter, for instance, right? Like a Call of Duty. And obviously the transferability to the real world makes it interesting. I think that's what Partech, SQL, Roger Ehrenberg, the last investors kind of saw is sim racing coaching seems niche, but think about engaging the 1 billion Formula One fans out there, right? I think that's really, so if you think about us as a company, I wouldn't say we're a gaming company. We are a racing analytics company that apply the tech and gaming, but thinking broader about fan engagement, about maybe monetizing the data in other ways and so on.
Yeah. Because sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say originally at the beginning, and when I was doing some notes, I was thinking you guys might be going for like the high end type of markets, the people who can race in real life and have bought a sim just to get better at racing in real life. But realistically, it's actually the gamers that is like the real unlock and that kind of thing. So what are your plans for 26, improving the product, but also scaling it out and scaling usership?
Yeah, obviously loads of things, right? I can't go into detail about everything, but if you kind of put it into two buckets, one is improving the core product, which is still on the racing game side. And if you think about how we built the product, it's kind of we've worked our way down from the very nerdy top end, which just wants to see raw data. And now we're kind of getting to the phase of scale and revenue that we need to think more about the mass market. And I think when you want to unlock the mass market, you need real-time voice coaching, which we haven't touched for very good reasons so far. It's extremely complicated, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And if you think about products like Runna for running, right, I think the feedback is fairly simple. Actually, it's about pace, whereas in our case, it's about actual technique. So long story short, I think real-time voice coaching, massive focus of 2026, as is branching out into real-world racing. So I can't tell you who, but there's some interesting conversations with Formula One teams, for instance, in the sense of can the technology that we've built, maybe not the exact same product, but can you get a track Titan API that helps your driver improve at a faster rate, right? Can you maybe help a race engineer get an insight in a second rather than 20 seconds by doing it manually versus AI-based with us? So it's kind of the big two buckets.
Yeah, and look, I think these guys would pay like hundreds of millions for like a second gained, right? Like
oh my god,
lap.
yeah.
That's the
less
difference between yeah. So like
milliseconds
are
yeah.
That's so
hundreds of millions, maybe not. I think the market on the top end side is not kind of venture scale. It's only 10 or soon 11 F1 teams. But if you think about the brand power that has as well, right? For us, I think we want to demonstrate. Well, this is a mass market product, hence the Strava, right? This is about democratization. But I think proving that the guys and girls at the very top end of the sport use it and benefit from it is quite important for us to validate the tech as well.
Yeah. Do you see that as a go-to-market function? Do you look at it as like a top-down thing? So you might want to get, I don't know, Lando Norris on the platform and talking about the platform almost as like, the fact that he's talking about it, he's an ambassador of it. And therefore that's a way better way / easier way to kind of like hyperscale the democratization side, because you're working as like a top down type thing. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'll be super honest. We haven't figured out the exact answer to that yet, because it's almost, if you think about it, it's a bit contradictory. Right? Let's say brand affiliation or pro driver and team affiliation is great, but you could almost argue, some people would argue, it's moving us away from the democratization element. So would we want Lando Norris talking about Track Titan or 1,000 genuine users, right? And does it have to be either or? And I think that's part of kind of the path to Series A, also figuring out that exact playbook, which can be mixed or one of the two or something else entirely.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was never like a huge fan of F1 in the past, but then I think it's almost like I'm embarrassed to say, when I speak to when I speak to people who actually watch it, it was like this Drive to Survive. That like, I just loved Drive to Survive. I thought it was awesome. I never like I still.
But have you guys maybe seen on the VC side? Would you say you've seen or let's say with startup and tech people in general, have you seen a shift in people's perception of F1 in the last few years?
Without a doubt. I think that what Drive to Survive did, I mean, in my opinion, didn't it like basically open up the US market for F1?
Pretty much.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I think that like they added the US as a viewer / watcher / fan of F1. Yeah. I think, I don't know. I remember reading something about it in terms of like what it's actually done for the sport, but I've definitely seen a shift, right? I went from someone who would literally say, I hate F1, having watched like a race or two. I can never understand like why people loved it. And then I watched Drive to Survive, and like, yes, okay, it's more flashy, it's more like players' lives, what they're doing in their spare time. Yeah. But it made me like really, really like the sport in general. Like, I'm not like an avid watcher, but I do find it interesting now when I see something happening. Like I changed my mind basically, and I was on the far end.
At least you don't hate it anymore, right? Which is good.
Yeah.
That jokes aside, but I'm fully with you, right? I think if you look at the sport cynically, it's 20 mostly dudes and hopefully some more girls in the future, but like driving in circles, right? It's pathetic, you could say. But I think what makes it exciting for people like me and the literally billion plus fans by now is actually understanding what is happening behind the scenes and maybe what is a driver doing. So in our view, that's also a part of the mission for Track Titan, making the sport more accessible from a viewer standpoint. So I'd say, in my view, for instance, if I watch an F1 race and it goes to a new track that I haven't driven in the sim before, I find it half as interesting because you can't really relate, right? Is that a difficult corner? Have they just done something really special or not? And I think that's also part of why something like Track Titan needs to exist. It's about, hey, there is a sport that has grown super fast, in large due to Drive to Survive, but a lot of people still don't have a clue about it. Let's face it, right? And the flashy side of Drive to Survive is great, but I think actually understanding what's happening there is crucial, right? Same as everyone's kicked a football at some point, but you see something happening, it's like, wow, that's nuts. But I'd say 99% of F1 fans can't relate to that activity.
Yeah.
And that's why I think driving is great there.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're spot on in the fact that this is a great way to get people more interested, because you can appreciate how hard the sport is and how amazing when something does happen, how amazing it could be.
Yeah, exactly. Or also compare yourself to your favorite driver, for instance, right? So on our platform, we also have real FF1 data, and that might not be like for like comparable, depending on how realistic the game is, but just saying, hey, I managed to break later than my favorite driver in this case. Super interesting, right?
Yeah. How do you look at the when a company is doing something that's new and novel? I think a lot of the adoption, especially in the early days, comes from almost like wiring the brain of like, oh, this can happen. Like this is a thing that people can do. So example would be like, I don't know, like maybe like Calendly, when they shared the link and it said, oh, you can use Calendly too. It's like, oh, I can send my calendar to someone else. Like I can do that. And therefore they go and do it. And there you go. Product is adopted. How do you see that as a thing that increases the product adoption of Track Titan?
Like how we go about it, or how I think about companies like that?
How you go about it, or how you're thinking about going about it?
It's like, I don't want to make it a super long-winded answer, but it's a very interesting question, especially for a coaching product, right? Also, when it comes to product building, I'd say, I mean, like the classic YC on the wall rules, like build something people want. I think in our case, like we need to build something people need,
Mm.
because people don't have a clue what they need to actually get faster, right? And we need to communicate why they should want it, if that makes sense. I think that's a huge difference. And if you ask our users, the number one request is always like, show me more data, show me more data, right? And it's like, actually, no one needs more data. People usually want to be told what to do differently, right? So I think it's like an extra layer of product complexity. And how we go about that is just a lot of educational content, right? We try to get people where they are already. Let's say someone Googles how to get faster around Silverstone in a certain car. We have a bit of educational content that then also explains, hey, there is something that's much better than the video you're currently watching. Slightly hypocritical, right? Like we produce content that we actually kind of almost want to decommission, but it's the kind of the gateway almost into explaining the product. But it's tough. It's super tough, right? And it's a challenge, but it's a very exciting challenge once it starts working.
Yeah, no, it sounds it, and it follows like
Such a
onto
cool
another,
company.
like consumer products are super hard, right? Like they are just naturally, yeah, very, very difficult to do. Your, you know, what thesis on this? Like when we were speaking the other day, you know, you mentioned like building consumer startups from your perspective is almost like 100x harder than like a B2B startup.
100x more exciting. I don't know how much harder. I've never built a B2B company, right? I've been in
Sorry, yeah,
consumer
100x
fintechs before
more
this.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah, it's a personal thing, right? I think one of our angel investors, who's a unicorn founder, said, I think something that really resonates, like you only have so many companies in you in your life. I think you're extremely fortunate to build one that doesn't go bust within a year or two. So it's for me, it's kind of, this might sound slightly cheesy, but it's like, what do I want to spend my best working years on, right? And for me, building the 200th B2B AI sales agent is not what gets me out of bed in the morning. Right? And I think it's awesome, and that there's nothing wrong with building those companies, right? Absolutely not. I think it's super exciting, but I'm lucky enough to have something I think about on the weekend and in the evening. Like it drives me nuts. Like, how do you drive a car faster, right? Some people might find that boring, and I think building for actual people that share that passion is incredible. So I think if you're lucky enough to have something like that, I'd run after it, even if it's 100 times harder
It's
from a
also,
fundraising. And
yeah, sorry to cut you off. That like it's so how can anyone like compete with you when you're having fun as well?
maxing.
Yeah, you're fun maxing this thing, right? Like you enjoy it so much. But you say that, like I'm thinking about on the weekends, like there will be people out there who, you know, maybe Friday comes at 6 p.m. They're like, oh, finally I can just like chill out and not think about cars, or like, you know, not do that. But like I think as you say, like if you are lucky enough to ingrain that into your life, then like that should probably be the thing that you should work on, because
hopefully,
you have a comparative advantage in the fact that like no one can outwork you because you're not really working, you're having fun. Not saying that it's not hard work. I'm sure what you're doing is incredibly hard work.
It's super hard, yeah. But no, exactly, and especially I'd say on like I think, and I mean you guys worked in startups before. It's like the good days are always great, I think, for everyone, but the tough days are kind of where people crack, right? And startups crack as well. And luckily, like we've had some really shit days, to be super frank, but there was never a question of like, is this worth it? It's the easiest question ever for us, right? As racing fanatics. And I think, and again, there are people, thousands of people on our Discord saying this is a great product. You know, I've told my friend about it today, and for me, that's a different emotional hit than getting a B2B referral. But again, very personal. But I hope it makes sense why. Yeah, it makes the tough times a lot easier.
No, dude, so true,
100%.
so true. We've not like that's such a good like when there is a bad day, it's usually like a really bad day. Like it really sucks. I remember that at Convergence, and we just had some days where I get in and we just be like, okay, we were here for like 14 hours yesterday. We're here for another 14 hours today, and the thing's still. We just fixed the thing, and now the thing's broken. Or here's another fire that you've got to put out, and it's like, it's weird, right? But like I feel that I don't know, people in this space are always like weirdly addicted to that chaos in a weird way.
Definitely. You need to be, right?
Well, we know a lot of people
who
have built incredible companies and made more money than you can ever think of, but then they go and do it again because it's just a thing that you love doing. That's company building is a beautiful thing, and it's an art in our eyes. We're out of time. Thank you so much, Max, for joining us. It's been insightful and really cool.
That was awesome, dude.
Awesome. Good to see you.
You too, Max. Have a good one.
Bye.
Ciao.
That's Max Teichert, founder and CEO of Track Titan. On the show next, we have Adam Lazary. He is the founder and general partner of Yellow VC, European pre-seed fund. But just before that, Airwallex, leave outdated business banking behind with Airwallex.
Get it behind you.
The all-in-one financial platform built for the pace of modern business, multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, online payments, all in one place. Go to airwallex.com. We love the guys over there. They gave us a McLaren car. They're awesome.
How could you not love that McLaren car?
Let's go back to the story that we were on. Google partners with Apple.
Yes.
So news from Google.
Another Google story.
Another Google story indeed. News from Google on X posted joint statement. Apple and Google have entered into a multi-year collaboration under which the next generation of Apple foundation models will be based on Google's Gemini models and cloud technology. These models will help power future Apple Intelligence features, including a more personalized Siri coming this year. After careful evaluation, Apple determined that Google's AI technology provides the most capable foundation for Apple foundation models and is excited about the innovative new experiences it will unlock for Apple users. Apple Intelligence will continue to run on Apple devices and private cloud compute while maintaining Apple's industry-leading privacy standards. Google is just killing it. So
Game over.
you're now an option.
Yeah. Hey, dude. Thanks for jumping on. Super quick.
Yeah.
You guys.
he got a 5 minutes in the calendar with no title.
Quick sync.
Yeah.
Quick sync. There's the Google CEO.
At 5 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah. You up? 2 a.m. You up? Gotta chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Sorry, just a quick one. You're an option now.
It's that's the way it goes. It's look, as Max Unstrand once said, I wake up every morning with the taste of blood in my mouth. It's a messy game out there. You know, one day you're flying high. You're doing 14 days of OpenAI drops at Christmas. The next day you're an optional plugin for Apple as they partner with your main competitor.
So I had a little look about the differences between now the Siri deal and the Copilot that OpenAI and Microsoft have been developing and work on. So Siri is becoming a personal privacy agent is what it was kind of like summarized as. It knows what is on your screen right now and uses Gemini reasoning to help you do things across your apps. Okay. That's kind of like main function. That's it. Whereas
I've never used any of the Apple
not yet, exactly, but not yet.
Like Siri stuff though.
Well, I think that's probably why it's becoming a.
But they have it on this now. Like if I do
Apple Intelligence,
that's it. This is Apple Intelligence.
Yeah, great. Apple Intelligence, not too good at the moment.
It sucks. What is this? I don't even know what this is. It's bringing Wikipedia.
Nice. But then Copilot is becoming an
look at that. Listening. I've never seen that before. Is it Shazamming something? It's Shazamming. I don't even have the Shazam app.
Oh, great. So there's a deal between Shazam and Apple.
That's
now.
not. This is like Apple,
So just to get back to the point, Siri is becoming personal privacy agent, whereas the Copilot, which Microsoft and OpenAI have been developing, is becoming an office exoskeleton. Was what I think I did this on ChatGPT. Is what?
Wait, didn't they rebranded the Microsoft
Copilot
Office to like Copilot AI or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
They basically turned all their users into like AI users overnight. So
Yeah,
I
you're now
read
AI
something crazy
labeled.
about-
You're
Yeah, yeah.
labeled as AI.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like users of Copilots. Now they'd be like, oh, our AI agent is the best because we've got the most. Like they just somehow gained like I don't know how many people use Teams or the Microsoft Suite. It's probably
90% of
probably
businesses.
a
to be
lot.
honest.
Yeah, probably like
I think
a
only really
scary amount.
startups use Google, like the
Yeah.
Google ecosystem.
And it's mad when
As you grow, you
when you
just
get
start
like
to
a
use
Teams
Microsoft.
invite.
Yeah,
I'm
or
always kind of
Zoom.
like,
Oh,
really? You want me
that's
to let me just light my candle and oil lamp so I can turn up with ancient technology? I don't know. If you're using Teams, it's not that bad too.
But the Office exoskeleton code name called Copilot. It knows everything your company has ever written and uses GPT's logic to automate your professional life. So basically, it's like all-encompassing thing that is being used. FYI to the producer, I can't actually hear myself anymore.
I can still hear me.
This has valued, so another FT article came out, Alphabet hits $4 trillion valuation, $4 trillion valuation on AI hopes. Google stock has obviously been mooning. If you are in the stock, happy days. This is great.
Super happy days.
But Google is developing and operating its own chips, data centers, and consumer and workplace apps, in addition to the world's most popular search engine. They're basically everywhere. They are the hot ticket at the moment.
Yeah.
Owns chips and compute. OpenAI and Anthropic is still relying on like third-party chip manufacturers. Performance is close, if not as good as OpenAI now, which is another string to the bow. Gemini app is growing rapidly. It's now at 650 million users. Ad revenue has grown 16% in the third quarter of 2025. Like Larry Page is now the second most rich human being on the planet. His net worth has gone up 100 billion over the past year, which is pretty crazy.
It's pretty good.
Basically, generational run for Google. They're just killing it ever since 1998.
I honestly think they've got to a point of being unstoppable. I just can't see. I
think now the model is better. It depends what OpenAI. If the OpenAI team come out and say the code red has worked, we're now back. I don't know how what the metric is, but in terms
they
of
need a
performance,
lesson in comms at that place. I think.
What, ChatGPT?
Yeah, OpenAI.
Or just OpenAI
They
generally.
need a comms lesson. I think.
Why? You cannot.
I
Why?
just think the code red did so much damage. It's just like
we said code red was a good thing, didn't we?
no, not like communicating that to them. Like we were saying, like, oh, why would you say code? Just be like
Good to lock in.
Yeah, just be like, hey guys, just a quick one. Like we're gonna focus super hard this week. Not like code red, everyone panic.
No, but code red is like an industry thing. If you announce a code red, everyone locks in on the same problem.
I just think it could be
which means I
rebranded.
think they could
code lock-in.
I think they could.
Better.
Rebrand code red is the take of the century.
I just think it's just not good comms work. Red, alert, bad.
Bad. Yeah, but it is bad.
Yeah, but you don't want the world to know that your private company is like, you'd rather be like, nah, we're good over here. But then, behind your back, you'd be like, yeah, let's lock it in, guys. Come on.
Was it a lot, not a leak? Oh no, I guess Sam posted code red, but still.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I think no, it was an internal memo leak. But even even your employees, you probably wouldn't be like code red. You'd be like, let's all try really hard this week.
Yeah, FYI, model performance.
Or you'd walk the floor as the boss, and then everyone would just heads down, sort of like.
Sam is here.
Sam
we
is
know
in town.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's coming for us all. But yeah, rebrand.
Next on the show,
red.
we have Adam Lazary. He is going to be joining us in a minute. But before we do that, Spectre. Be the reason your fund wins the deal of the decade with Spectre. Go to tryspectre.com. Harness the power of live data and AI-driven analysis to outsmart the competition and make confident decisions in private markets. You can see all of their potential decisions on the ticker below us. They're killing it. They are cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Effectively.
And we've got Adam Lazary coming up next. For those who've just joined the stream,
Joining
he is
super
the
soon.
general partner and co-founder of Yellow. So we're excited to jump in with him. We've got some really cool questions about what they're doing over there. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
He's been back. Oh, here we go.
I
Adam,
think we have Adam coming in right now.
can you hear us?
Oh, the audio super clean, Adam. This is
Good.
what a treat.
Let me just, we're just waiting for our producer to give us a thumbs up that you are live
Just
and
so
direct on E ETN.
the viewers and listeners at home can see you live and direct. That's a great, lovely backdrop you got going on there. It's just like a little, it's like glass doored offices. What?
Here in Paris. We
Very
don't,
nice.
we're still a
That's good.
small fund, so it's not only yellow. It's a bigger company that is nice enough to host us here.
Mate, that's good news. You know, we don't have an office. We're just traveling around London. Just
What are you
Well,
talking
we have
about?
four,
Isn't it your office in the back with all the nice caps and champagne bottles?
This is our like studio. I would say we rarely work in here. We get too distracted by the champagne bottles and the nice cars. We
Actually,
have
I'm
to go
disappointed.
support.
I thought you guys were gonna rock tuxedo. I saw the last Tuesday episode. I thought
I do have a bow tie somewhere. I don't know where I put the bow tie, but maybe it's a bit too late. You've caught us underdressed, Adam. We're so sorry.
It's all right.
Well,
Only in
listen,
shirts and
if
blazers.
you
Are
like
we, are
caps
we-
a lot,
Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
I'll happily exchange you a yellow cap against
Oh, that's
one
quite
of the
clean, actually.
ETN caps whenever I'm in
Oh,
London next.
that is
Yeah,
super
yeah.
fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let us-
we'd love one of those.
Let us know when you're in London and we'll make it
We'll have
happen.
to link up and get a trade deal going.
Let's do so the listeners know who you are and what you do. Let's have an intro and then we can go from there. We've got a bunch of questions for you.
Okay, sounds great. So, I mean, my background is mostly in investing. I've been in the venture business now for almost a decade. First at Atomico and then at Yellow, which we've been building now for a little over 2 years. For the record, I started my career in London in banking, but that was a while ago. So, you know, rocking those, you know, nice jackets and up in there. But yeah, more maybe about Yellow. We started the fund, as I say, about like 2 years ago now. We invested at the very beginning of the journey with tickets of around 400, 500K. We've invested in over 20 teams across Europe now. In the majority of cases, we're the first fund to commit. That is really at the start of the journey. So before there's any customer, other investors in the cap table, and in many cases, even before there's a product. So at this stage, we focus a lot on founders behind the wheel. That's really the most important to us. And maybe to end on the Yellow intro, I'd say the support we bring to founders are around 3 key value prop. The first one is operational. So my background is mostly in investing. My business partners built a unicorn called Glovo. It's a delivery business that is now around 10 billion of top line across 25 markets. And so they did that over 10 years. And they're still at it. So there's a lot for them to share on the 0 to 1 scaling phase, on the things they did well and on the things that they could have done better. The second element is commercial. We do a lot of intros early on to potential customers, design partners. And third is around what we call the in-house VC counseling. We can get back to it, but we believe that a lot of a startup success is down to their ability to have a really clear and cut storytelling, and so we help them building that over time. And so yeah.
Awesome stuff. And you're in Paris, right? Correct.
Yeah.
How is the Paris ecosystem? Tell us more. We haven't had someone from Paris on for a while, if not ever.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think you had my friend Alex Berrichon. No?
Oh yeah,
he
we've
was.
had loads.
Yes, he was in Paris. Yeah.
From Lucis.
Yeah.
And we had who was the guys that did
Fleet.
Yeah,
Is he in Paris?
Alexandra. Yeah,
That's
Alexandra.
that's Alex Berich. That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's
He was
Alex
cool.
Berry. Yeah. Okay,
And then
so
the other guy, I forgot his name now. Was it the startup? I said he reminded me of Steve Jobs because he was like an artist.
Oh wow.
Maxime.
Maxime Berthelot at
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Anyway, how is the Paris ecosystem? Give us
And
the
you
lowdown.
having Amin coming in next, right? So
Yeah, from Spore Bio.
Yeah, I mean the Listen, Paris has evolved a lot. I was, I spent almost a decade in London. So, I came back in Paris in around 2019 to open the Atomico office here, and a lot has happened during this decade. It's There's a lot of elements that comes into play. I don't know if we have enough time, but essentially, the as often in the French system, the government played a role in that, and in this case, a positive one with BPI, as put a lot of money in the ecosystem early on. That was in 2012 that they started it, and they've been accelerating ever since. And so I think today Paris benefits from having such a great talent pool of engineers. In the AI era, it's a lot down to your technical skills. And when you look at the engineering school that France has, whether it's Polytechnique, Centrale, Supélec, etc., we have a very solid pool of engineers. And so even like founders like the Databricks guys or Datadog, they built in the US, but they were trained in France. So I think the idea is like how to empower these guys to build like global companies, because there's definitely very raw and good talent here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've been in the French ecosystem. Like my old company was Pigment, and like we used to. I mean, like Mackie People was another one that we were super close to, and like most of my mentors were from the Parisian ecosystem. Like I remember, Julian Cordano at 20VC was like one of the angels in Pigment. Julian Lessécher, who works at Mackie People now, I think, as the chief growth officer, and then obviously like Eleanor and Roman. Like two amazing founders. So yeah, like so much love for the Paris ecosystem, which is awesome. But enough about that. Maybe onto you and Yellow. What we spoke about something yesterday that I thought was really interesting. Is these predictions for 2026. One of the first ones that you mentioned was like this sort of dry powder shrinking, much less funding. I'd love to go into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think we're going to see two potential dynamics play out in 2026, at least in the seed market. On the one hand, I think there's going to be a lot less cash overall, and that is, as we started chatting about yesterday, is because a lot of the funds that are now active were raised during the ZERP era. So think about ZERP kind of like ended around mid 2022. So assuming a deployment of 3 to 4 years, they're now coming to an end. And yet we're talking about like levels of fundraise that were 2 times the normal that we had pre that and that we are at now. So mechanically, dry powder, i.e. the money available in the market, is going to drop. And so what is going to be the impact on the seed market? I think there's just going to be much less funding available for the long tail of early stage founders. But so that's one dynamic. But on the other hand, I think top founders profile will still gather a lot of interest. And what we're likely to see is the capital is going to become more concentrated in a few companies. So making top profile rounds ever more competitive. And, the way we look at it from our perspective is that, multi-stage funds who are trying to play more and more in this part of the market are going to rely even more on pre-seed specialists like ourselves to help them identify early those early stage opportunities. So yeah, that's something we're likely to see in 2026.
That's something that we've discussed a little bit on the show, right? In terms of that competitive aspect, where it's like the messy middle. Like these people that you're either hyper localized, like early stage, sometimes with a specific niche that you're focusing on. I think like the first time this conversation was started on the stream was with Lawrence, who just started like this semiconductor focused pre-seed startup, trying to go as early as possible. Or you're on the complete opposite end of the growth stage. You've got massive AUM, and you can just like your legacy and your name will walk you into the deal, and the money's not really a problem. The price tag's kind of fine. What happens to those guys that are sitting in the middle was something that's been discussed. And it seems to echo what you're saying there. I mean, is this Yeah,
How does that make your job as an early stage investor? Being, you're obviously the front line of contact, right? So for these multi-stage funds, does that mean that when you're investing, your way of investing or strategy might be to diversify more bets and put less money into companies, or is that more focusing on ones that you really think are the kind of real winners? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think it boils down to what is pre-seed investing in general. Like how do you organize your strategy and how do you make it happen? I think it's the hard part. This to me, I was a Series A and Series B investor at Atomico, and I become a pre-seed specialist when building Yellow. I think that I see pre-seed as probably the hardest part of venture for a number of reasons. I think one, you're betting solely on people. You have no data to back anything. So, there's no revenue, no traction, sometimes no products. So you're really betting on the founders and what you see as their capacity to execute, which is much harder than betting on numbers. I think another reason is access is the hardest part. So coming back to your point, Luke, I think the best and most promising founders don't run formal processes. You need to be in the conversation early, before there's a deck, before there's a hype, and getting that access in a consistent way is what's incredibly hard.
Agree.
I think on top of that, you need to truly build conviction before there's a consensus. So here you usually, if you want to be this guy and, being at the cap table, you're usually the first investor to write the check. So as I said, before there's customers, before there's investors on the cap table, you have to build a strong view that before there's an external validation, which is not the case for any other investors after that. And I'd say maybe another reason is you're committing time, not just capital. At this inception stage, founders expect real involvement, whether it is in recruiting, in strategy, in the fundraising, emotional support, and so on and so forth. It's much more time demanding than, coming in at the B and, sitting on a quarterly basis at the board to discuss KPI evolution. So I think that what makes the sort of like pre-seed investing stage a bit more challenging from my perspective.
I feel like you're in a great position to maybe give advice to people who want to maybe get into the venture game, who are starting their careers. I want to say, you mentioned that it's more about the access of the deals is like a really big thing. For someone who's starting a career, what do you think is like a great piece of advice about the access side, and how do you kind of build that access like as early as possible? You may be working in a pre-seed fund, but you might not have access to deals like someone who has been in the industry for maybe 10 years. What's like a big thing that you think kind of accelerates that access?
No, it's a great question, because I think everything about early stage investing is about access. So I think you're right on. Listen, if I were graduating from college today, I would say go do something that is not venture. I think you need to build a bit more experience before jumping into the investing game.
Yeah.
There's countless examples that show that you can be an investor even without having worked before. But in general, it gives you a bit more, meat to be able to discuss with investors, and a bit more legitimacy when it comes to sitting at the table, because you understand everything is much more tangible than if you just like, you came from a place of just like, reading your lessons to like giving advice to a founder building. So I would say first thing, maybe get experience operationally. That's a good way of building a network if you work in a startup, and understanding better like the sort of tools that founders will be dealing with. You can also like take a role in the service industry, in consulting or in banking, because it gives you a sense of multitasking, which is important in this role, as well as being commercial, which will become key as you grow into a venture investor role. And then when it comes to building a network, I think to your point, Luke, you can start as early as you can, and I think it's easy. There's so many groups that you can join. In Paris, there's early stage builders that typically like gathers people who are chief of staff in scale ups. So different groups that you can join to start building a network, and yeah.
Maybe start a live show. Like,
Yeah.
helps the connection.
Yeah. You meet some cool people. Moving on to focus more on Yellow specifically. Like, I've been reading loads of stuff recently about how hard it's been to start or to go solo, or like start a new fund, or raise cash in this certain environment. Like, you are very well poised to answer the question in terms of how hard has it been? Like, what has been the challenges for you guys getting Yellow off the ground initially?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. We raised in 2023, which wasn't necessarily the most venture-friendly market. I'd say there's people tend to underestimate the challenges. I see a few. One, and the most obvious one, is fundraising. Which in itself is the first major barrier to entry. And they're not too dissimilar to pre-seed founders. You're starting from a blank page. So yeah, you can talk about your previous experience, but you're now on a new project. So it's all about selling the vision and how complementary you can be with your founding team. Once you've passed that first major hurdle, I think that I see three elements that you need to work on. The first one is access, which we were talking about. As we said, the best and most promising founders, they don't run formal processes. You need to be there early in the conversation, before there's a deck, before there's a hype. And I think getting that access in a consistent way is what's, I find, incredibly hard to be consistent on. The second, so one is access, two, I would say, is conversion. Again, capital is a commodity. So these top founders can raise from anyone. To partner up with them, you have to convince them that you can bring more than just capital. And that would include like mentorship, hiring support, customer or investor introduction. And that can be tough for a first-time fund because you don't have track record of that. You don't have like references. So it's a bit of catch-22. If you haven't like backed founders as part of this vehicle you just raised, who can a new founder call and say, are these guys like walk the walk or they talk the talk, And so I think that's another element. And the third one I would say is delivering on the support. In our case, we tend to be the largest or the second largest investor in the cap table. So founders put a lot of expectation on what we can bring. So how do you execute on the plan that you promise founders you would execute on? And I think that's where you build trust and reputation over time. It's by, not just doing the talk, but actually like, being there and doing the work.
Yeah. We're almost at time, but I want to ask like, I guess one final question on what's like one of the things that you ask, because you spend so much time with founders before you put the check in, right? What's the kind of thing that you would do to understand the founder as much as possible? What is that one thing like, okay, I'm going to go and ask this question or do this to make sure that I know exactly like where I believe this founder is going to go or what they're going to do?
Man, if there was only one question, it's...
What's the thing you always do before you put a check in?
Yeah, no, but it's a very good question. Is how do you assess, to your point, like before there's data, how do you assess whether this is the founding team that you want to work with? I'd say there's various questions, and I'll get to that. But I think the key traits that we'll be looking for at Yellow, at least, are one, obsession, two, a capacity to adapt, and three, some sort of attractive power. And so on the obsession side is like, the founding journey is harsh. There's for sure going to be very challenging moments where you question everything about your decisions. So what is that one thing that will keep you, in driving your company? What is your obsession? And I think to this point, Luke, you can ask them about what keeps them up at night.
Yeah.
You know, what is it to understand, you know, where their mind is at. But I mean, there's different ways of testing that, but and in a more direct or indirect way. And then capacity to adapt is also like something key, because everything's going to change in your environment in the next 5 to 10 years. So, you know, you can take references on them or ask them questions about past examples. And then third one is capacity to attract people, because in the end, you're going to have to attract top talent. You know, people quitting their high-paying jobs to join you with a lot of risk. First customers and downstream capital. So this is also like based on the energy that the founders give you, based on a lot of elements when you meet with them, you know, do they have this attractive power that, you know, will help them thriving?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it makes sense.
Good answer.
Heard it here, loud and clear. Thank you so much, Adam, for joining us. We'll have to do this again. We need to be kept up to date with the Yellow Fund performance, and also we need to do the trade deal, because that cap is awesome.
I'm often in London, so next time I'm in town, I'll bring you some hats. What are the hats up there? Are there other funds, or whose hats?
Yeah, we've got Polymarket, we've got Mana, which is a drinks company. We've got Airwallex, one of our sponsors. Sorcery from Molly O'Shea, Panathenia, Plural VC, EU Inc., Valerian. What's that
Nice.
one?
Defense company in Europe.
Yeah, a few.
Great.
We've got a few.
Well,
We
let's
have
see
quite
if
a few, but we always
we'll
need
make the
more.
cut.
Yeah,
That's
Yellow
it.
will get straight up there. It'll be right on that top shelf. We'll have to demote someone. I'm not sure who. We won't say now, but
We need to regulate.
yeah, well, there'll be a big
Love the
reveal.
background. Whose
Yeah.
picture is that, by the way? Last question. Who's in the middle?
We can't talk about that.
We don't talk
You can
about
zoom
that
in
picture.
and you can and you can see for yourself.
You have to look on. You have to look on the stream when
Okay.
it'll become clear when you can zoom in though.
Cool. All right, guys.
We look
well,
up to them
great,
very much.
spending time with you.
Yeah,
dude,
likewise. Great to meet you.
Absolute pleasure, Adam. Have a good one. Cheers.
Right.
Nice one.
Awesome stuff. What a legend. Great to.
He was awesome. I
yeah.
love that conversation.
Great to talk
That
to
was so
Adam,
good.
founder, GP of Yellow VC, a early stage European pre-seed fund. Quick word from our sponsor, Polymarket, the world's largest prediction market. Stay informed and profit from your knowledge. Go to polymarket.com. They gave us a bunch of merch today, which is awesome.
Yeah, we were unboxing it, but Luke's got it on his phone. Actually, got a wallet,
I
a
have a
card,
wallet,
magnetic
indeed.
card holder on the wallet there. Really stands out, that blue, doesn't it?
It looks good.
Does look good.
I'm going to keep it.
Great.
Looks good. Thanks to Polymarket. Next on the show, we have Amin Raji, the co-founder and CEO of Spore Bio. They're modernizing a legacy process that most people don't still realize is slow and manual testing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to chat to them.
It's going to be a good chat. But before we do that, we have more news coming up, and we're going to go back to the town square. But let's talk about Boulderton.
Yeah, you wanna do the Boulderton?
Boulderton has turned M's into B's by investing 1 million into Revolut back in the day.
I've played the money as well. Boulderton.
Led their $75 billion
Turning M's into B's right about now.
Indeed.
With Boulderton
Let's
Capital.
go. Boulderton Capital has cashed out roughly $2 billion of its Revolut stake over the past year, cementing its early £1 million investment in the fintech as one of the most lucrative bets in European venture history, and capping an exceptional year for the London firm. The stock sales include $1 billion worth that people familiar with the matter say was announced at Boulderton's annual meeting in November, as well as other deals earlier in the year. They come as Revolut sits at a $57 billion valuation and edges towards an IPO that could come as early as this year. I don't think it will IPO this year, but
Yeah, there was a lot of beef about that, wasn't there? Nikolai was like, "I'm off to Dubai."
yeah, and I'm gonna
IPO somewhere
list in the US. Oh dear, sad times. But that's
Game
pretty
over.
game over.
Yeah, no, interesting. They Bolton hit an absolute worldie on this one, didn't they? So they put in, what was it? It was like a couple million quid at seed or pre-seed.
No, £1 million at seed. Sorry, £1 million at pre-seed, and I believe they've done follow-ons. But
yeah, their stake was like, what it was like.
it's said to be worth
6 billion or
9
so.
billion, but they've cashed out on 2 of those billion.
Yeah, like insane. They actually gave us a plate I was at their 25th anniversary party. This is the plate, by the way. It's actually a really nice plate. Not one that you'd eat off, but
It's quite small.
something to maybe put keys in. You know, if this was by the door
Yeah.
on your way out, yeah, keys, maybe AirPods.
Yeah.
What else?
Phone, maybe wallet.
No, why would you? Do you have a phone plate at home?
I don't know. Anything that's in your pockets, you just take it out.
Yeah, true. I think the phone stays, always got that
Glued.
thing on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a nice
Chronically online.
It's a nice plate. It's actually by a like a famous what do you call it? Like a sculptor? Would you say for this?
Yeah. A sculptor.
I think it has a specific name. So shout out to Balderson, killing it on the fun side, also killing it on the ceramic
We have
gift side as well.
We have James Wise. He's a partner at Balderson. He's coming on next week. We will talk
That's this
more
week.
about. Is it this week?
That's this Thursday, yeah.
This Thursday. Tune in this Thursday to have James Wise's take on their
James Wise. He'll be joining us live and direct this Thursday.
They're
That is
actually just down the
unannounced.
road in King's Road, in King's Cross as well.
That is unannounced, but we will. I mean, we've just announced it now, but we will announce it properly
Announced.
with
It's been
a
announced.
juicy little guest announcement as well. We are coming to the end of our news. I'm trying to check we are on the screen. Yes, we are.
Let's talk about Anthropic launching Cowork.
We can't miss out Nico.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's do Nico because Nico, this is awesome as hell. Rosberg Ventures,
$100 million.
$100 million Fund 3.
We've contacted
Nico
Nico.
Rosberg bets on
Hopefully he comes on the
game
show
next
one day.
day. We would love to host you,
Nico Rosberg, please.
Nico Rosberg. It would be an
Come on the
absolute
show.
pleasure.
That'd be
Definitely the
great.
trumpets for Nico, actually.
Yes.
Closing the $100 million Fund 3.
I think it is the largest deal that a professional athlete / ex-professional athlete has ever raised. Largest fund,
Oh, really?
I believe. Today, Nico Rosberg announced that Rosberg Ventures has just closed its $100 million Fund 3, describing it on LinkedIn as oversubscribed with unprecedented demand and capped for performance. He was obviously former F1 world champion and retired in 2016. But they've invested in a ton of very cool companies. Jack and Jill, Clicks, Fix AI, Black Forest Labs, and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
They're clearly doing very well.
But this is the thing that, our Alex at SQL, big focus sort of like connecting. I mean, not specifically like this. Nico is doing his own thing, but we're seeing a lot more ex-celebrities / I'm using celebrities as a word, but that includes professional athletes. The majority is kind of professional athletes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Step into the world of venture. Like I saw the other day on LinkedIn.
The Players Fund.
The Players Fund, of course. Yeah, how could I forget them? Ferguson, Rory, shout out to both of you. They have the amazing. When I first sat down with Rory, he kind of gave me the Players Fund like pitch and the strategy. And he has that 3-stage process, that he was telling us about in terms of the development of the industry. Like the US was very early to catch on with like Shaq doing like Ring and Google and like loads of mad stuff.
Yeah.
But we're slowly seeing this find its way into Europe, which is a great thing. And I'm not putting Nico in that bucket because he's just raised $100 million for his own fund, right? That's performing very well.
Yeah.
But I saw like Cody Gakpo is an investor in Jack and Jill, I think, as well, and like he'd done some work with the Green Up team, which is really cool. I think that like this will converge. I think we'll see a lot more of this, and I'm super here for it. I think it's a great, nice capital flowing into the market. Really cool names, like the gelling of these industries. I think is
kind of venture plus culture.
Yeah, it's super
really
positive
happening.
for the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, really happening, especially in the European
Which is awesome.
ecosystem, which hasn't happened as much normally, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So congrats to Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have
Something
Cowork.
Something nuts has happened in the world of technology. Anthropic launches Cowork for everyday AI office help. Cowork now in preview for Claude Max subscribers on macOS lets Claude AI access a user-selected folder to read, edit, and create files, handling tasks like reorganizing screenshots into spreadsheets, prepping to-do lists, summarizing meetings. It builds on the popular Claude Code tool tool, which developers already repurpose for non-coding chores, and adds safeguards like approval prompts for big changes and sandbox isolation. Early users report wins like sorting thousands of PDFs.
Yeah, we can watch the video as well. Actually.
Though bugs like unresponsive buttons persist in the new in this raw version, with Windows supporting coming soon. Should we pop up the video?
I'm going to play it now.
Get that video.
We'll have chat with Marcus. Can you tell us if this is working? Just this is the first time we've done it. I can hear that.
Here we go.
Nice. It's like, oh, that's clean. What a tune as well.
Anthropic always do such a good job on this kind of
Graphics
stuff.
always slap.
It's so good.
Yeah, so you can, they've got a nice detail type thing.
That's so cool.
Oh, you
Check
can
the
like
calendar
interject.
still.
It's like you can like interject as well mid prompt. It looks like.
Yeah. This is just going to make so many people so
You see that
much.
little orange bit there?
Yeah.
That was quite cool.
This is going to make so many more people like far more productive. It's wild. Claude, you cooked.
Yes, sir.
You cooked. I will be trying that.
That's awesome.
Soon.
What a cool video. They
What a
always
cool
nail
video.
it. It's always so on brand.
Okay, so there's two things here. So and I can go into Boris Cherney, he is at Claude Code, and he explained a little bit more about it. And basically, like, he said Claude Code wrote the whole code for Cowork, which is
This is the guy who made
yes,
Claude
which is
Code, by the
bananas.
way.
Yeah.
Like he is the
he is the guy. Yeah. So since we launched Claude Code, we saw people using it for all sorts of non-coding work. Load of stuff. These use cases are diverse and surprising. The reason is that the underlying Claude agent is the best agent, and Opus 4.5 is the best model. Today, we're excited to introduce Cowork, our first step towards making Claude Code work for all your non-coding work. The product is early and raw, similar to what Claude Code felt like when it first launched. Cowork includes a number of novel UX and safety features that we think make the product really special. Built in VM for isolation, out-of-the-box support for browser automation, support for all your Claude AI data connectors, asking you for clarification when it's unsure. We are excited to see how you use it. This is basically another massive step towards AGI. White collar workers, are they no more? There's been a bunch of negative memes about or expos about this. If you just like whittle through some of the links below, Ronan.
Oh yeah.
One of them from Gort, Claude, automate my job and make no mistakes.
Make no mistakes.
A screenshot from Succession, which is hilarious. There's a bunch of others. The extension of white collar workers, Claude Code for the rest of your work, the American middle class desk jockeys, and then it's a picture of dinosaurs being wiped out by a meteor. So it's kind of true.
It's good. Look, I think it's time to go to the town square.
Yes, it is.
We're going to check in with some friends of the show, some guests of the show, but we're going to go over to
Loic,
X.
friend of the show.
This
hasn't
is
been
hilarious.
on the show, but this is great. Congrats to him for getting 1 million views on a tweet. To every Wall Street finance guy out there, I just want you to know that you can currently buy Bernie Madoff's bespoke Kilger French and Stanbury suits for under $1,200 each on eBay.
Should we be Bernie Madoff maxing at all times?
Should
That's the
we
question.
personally,
Should
or
everyone?
just generally everyone?
Look at that fit. Look at that drip.
I mean, the fact that it was bought off the back of the tweet.
Yeah, so if you scroll down, I'll scroll down here. He goes, it seems that someone off the back of this tweet actually went and bought it. Amazing.
Which is hilarious.
I'm not going to lie, surprisingly cheap.
Yeah.
in my opinion. I was expecting it to be like $20,000 or something.
But then again, you've also got Bernie Madoff's cigar humidor, which if you go on the
really?
if you go back onto the doc,
yeah, I'll have to like de-share that.
de-share then reshare.
Reshare situation.
This is
going
pretty
on.
amazing as well from Zanzibar. Zanzibar
Wait, what?
Ventures is the account. Bernie Madoff's Investment Securities LLC is a. If you zoom, can you zoom in on the cigar one?
Yeah,
on the cigar
yeah.
picture?
Where do you need me to? What, on
Zoom
this one
in.
here?
Yeah, that one there. It's a proper cigar humidor. It's quite cool with extras. What a grace,
Dude, that's not that expensive.
No, it's not.
Like for what it is, I would have thought that this would be going for like
on the
it's
listing.
kind of
It
like
says
memorabilia.
It says Bernie Madoff cigar humidor with extras. What a great conversation piece.
If that's on the product description.
Imagine if you no, it's not even on the description. That is
the title.
title.
Yeah. That's so good.
Imagine if you go to a meeting or a coffee and you just pull that out.
Yeah, it'd be like cigar. It'd be like it's Bernie Madoff's box, by the way.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yeah, I can see on the thing.
Piece that conversation together.
Yeah. It'd be kind of. I mean, like, I'd probably, what does that invite? How did you get it? Where did it?
How did you get it? Why have you bought it? What are you doing?
It would be cool. I do think that's a cool thing to have. If you got maybe you're doing some deals, doing some biz. Maybe you've just done some biz. You've just done some deals,
and you pull out Bernie's.
Bernie's.
And you come in Bernie's suit as well.
Yeah, I think at that point it would probably get a bit like worrying. Maybe then.
I wonder
does this guy just really want to be Bernie Madoff? She's like,
I'm not going to do the
like,
deal
yeah,
with you
it's,
anymore.
like here's the cigar, like, and this is the box. It's Bernie Madoff's cigar box. And like, cool. It's like these are also his clothes. At that point, you'd be like, deals off.
Yeah.
Deals.
You can pay for coffees. I'm done.
That's like this guy's weird.
Yeah.
He probably crosses the bridge at that point. That would.
You can only have one.
Odd. Yeah, you're only allowed one. Both, and then it becomes some sort of like Halloween costume. Which is just, you don't want to be doing business with someone dressed up like a clown.
Yeah.
No, really cool.
Another thing, Levels.io has come out with another banging tweet, which is hilarious. Not making this up, but I had to manually remove Cobra Tate from the photo AI robot that generates samples for the Dubai photo pack because Nano Banana would automatically insert him in every 10th photo or so without me ever prompting him. And I don't want to infringe on any rights. So he's hard trained inside AI models now. His prompt was muscular man with a tight-fitting white t-shirt in a luxury rooftop bar in Dubai at night, drinking whiskey and smoking cigars with beautiful women surrounded by solid gold glass bottles.
Insane. And then he replied, like, I am the culture. But Signal has a good take.
Kind of an alpha move.
Like, this is a good way to judge how much impact someone has had on like a specific culture. I guess like Dubai. Like memes, he's probably like the number one Dubai memer.
So the way you judge someone impacting culture is if they turn up in an LLM prompt without prompting them.
Yeah, if they you don't use name or anything, and then they just get forced into the model. I guess that anything that's related to that search just pulls them in and creates.
No, I think that's a great take. Well done to Signal.
But it's cool that he had to force like manually intercept what was happening and be like, please stop putting Andrew Tate in my image generation.
Someone replies to the tweet and said, and it is a little bit disturbing.
Yeah, it's weird. But that's kind of funny. This was interesting. This kind of this went a little bit viral in the space. Carl's Rayner, who I think we're meant to be having on.
I believe we've got on.
Is that?
Do you want to read it
happening?
out?
Yeah. Let me just share this on the screen. Carl's Rayner says founder-led sales is one of the biggest stupidities the world came up with. I keep seeing technical product founders doing sales because their investors tell them a founder needs to do sales in the beginning. Would you ask a non-tech founder to do coding at all? To do coding and call it founder coding? No. You should hire a high-energy, smart and entrepreneur mentality GTM person to help ASAP. Founders should do customer calls to know the market and get feedback quickly, but leave the negotiations to the experts. Anyone should be able to close some deals, but proper revenue and contracts come from people who are good and have passion for sales. Now,
This went pretty.
A lot to do. Yeah, 200k views. You know, not like it's
For 200k views that weren't great.
200k. He definitely got some slack, but I think then the tides changed, and like the guy from Kostler, I think his name was John, I need to double check, but he then came back and apologized for his remarks, because he came back, and I can share that now. I'm just gonna have to.
John at Kostler said,
this up.
Guy claimed to be an angel investor, outs himself as having never had any experience in startups.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you have it. There,
so he posted this, and then he said, "Okay, potentially too harsh, and apologize, but I have a very visceral reaction to advice like this. Most folks don't realize just how damaging this can be. It kills companies and can alter and ruin career trajectories of at least 2 people, and this one's personal. I've ran the experience before." I agree. I mean,
yeah. Well, I think look,
regardless if you're
right.
technical or not, you should. You should.
I think both are right. I think that like John's reply from this was, you know, like Carlos has worked as like incredibly early at Uber.
11 Labs, who's GTM.
He was the first GTM hire at 11 Labs,
and now they just hit 330 million in revenue.
Like did insane work with them, and a lot of people in the European ecosystem came to Carlos's defense, which they should do. He seems like I've not had the pleasure of meeting him yet, but he seems like an incredible operator. And I don't necessarily. I think you can agree and disagree with this take. I think that like yes. Early doors, pre-seed style stuff. Like traditionally, you should have the founder doing sales. Like I think part of the trust element and the propensity to buy comes from the fact that you're talking with the main individual of the company. It's like a respect thing almost.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
especially when you're onboarding early customers. Then yes.
They want to be close to the founder because they want to be close to the person who's in charge, right? They want to feel that respect that like I'm a valued individual and like this person's like values me. Like if you spoke to like a pre-seed company,
I think the function of it is less about closing deals, but by increasing more trust in the customer, it's about the founder who may or may not be, who if they're technical, the founder being technical and working on the sales as well in the early days, especially, is understanding what your customer's true problems are and therefore going to push building. So if you're in a sales call and they say, oh, like I don't really need this, or like I wouldn't really pay for this feature, but I would pay for this, that's then a key, like an obvious thing to be like, okay, let's stop focusing on this problem that isn't needed solving / isn't going to make any revenue, but let's go and let's shift our focus to something that I've heard in real life by multiple people, by my conversations. So it's like you're not building in a vacuum anymore. That's why I think.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do that. If you weren't technical, you'd just be like, hey, let's build this one. Like this guy's like this keeps coming up. Like I think like just running customer interviews, I think you can probably work that out. I think that the main thing is like what he's saying when he's right, because at Convergence, for example, like we had highly technical founders that were excellent at their technical jobs. They hadn't run sales processes before. They hadn't done discovery calls before. Like they were hardcore ML talent, and they were exceptional engineers, like top 0.00001%. And you know they wanted to focus on building. Like they wanted to focus on like actual like hardcore work. So which is why myself and the head of product would run everything that was customer facing. But again, we came in at pre-product, pre-seed, pre-office, pre-everything. So we knew the technology. We worked very, very close with the engineers, and we had as much sort of knowledge around like what you'd say in like a commercial atmosphere. You don't want to jump on the call as an incredibly technical person and start talking about like the hardcore technical details, right? Because you're usually speaking to someone who's not on that same level. You kind of want someone who relates to you a little bit. So that's in one avenue. I can agree with what Carlos Reyna is saying here in terms of you want someone who can kind of walk both sides, right? Like who can understand like the technical aspects of it, yes, but also like put that into like a GTM sphere. But I also think that this is more you make that hire traditionally once you found a scalable and a repeatable process in which you can then say like, hey, this is how it works. Maybe you can come in and fine tune a few things. You're an expert at GTM. Scale this up, scale this thing. You know, we've done like maybe 25 sales, 30 sales, and like this process seems to be working. What do you think? Can you scale it and maybe create like a full-on enterprise motion? Then I think I agree with him more.
Yeah, process it out.
Yeah, like and that wouldn't be early stage, which I think is what he initially sort of commented on. And I think John
I think it
is
was
right
just
as
a
well.
little bit too. Yeah, it was.
There was just some context maybe missing from both sides, and I think they worked it out. So it's
And they're all friends now, so it's all good. Everyone's
Happy
friends in
days.
the tech ecosystem. Maybe not OpenAI and Google, but
maybe
everyone
like,
else,
I think
it's
it
great
usually
stuff.
gets resolved in like a positive way when both individuals are doxed. Sorry, when they're not like anonymous accounts. Like when they're anonymous accounts, you kind of like everyone's kind of going at each other.
Yeah,
There's not
yeah.
really, there's no worry, But yeah, hats off to both of them. And we
Two
Carlos,
people.
we'd love to have him on. He did amazing work at 11 Labs. I think it was like, as we say, the first GTM hire who, they're now at 300 million ARR. Did amazing work there, and then was also working at Uber. We saw in the comment section that a few seasoned veterans of the space rallied. They rallied behind him to support him, which is awesome.
Indeed, they did.
Yes. What else have we got on?
Next on the timeline, we have a ton of stuff.
Yeah, we got so much stuff today. It's awesome. This was I want to get the God wants us to feed Claude thing.
This is good. Yeah,
This was a lot of talk about Claude recently. Ali Bell, so this is at with tenacity, says God wants us to feed Claude. Retweeting Colin McCarthy's who's at handlers US Stormwatch. Is California state reservoir levels are now at 130% of normal, holding 7 trillion gallons of water. Remarkable. Ali Bell, says God wants us to feed Claude. Give it all to Claude, the machine that never stops eating, consuming. It is the one thing that dances with the AGI devils. It's Claude, and it needs 7 trillion gallons of water because it's thirsty.
Let's just highly.
What did that do, by the way? That did
everything. Just increase
that did the
productivity
rounds.
for everyone and
20k likes.
It's pretty good.
That's a banger.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, good stuff, Ali Bell.
Well done to Ali Bell.
Love to see it.
We can talk about Lovable Shoe Game is even better than Curses.
Let me pull that one up.
Lovable Shoe Game. Look at that. They've got hundreds of pairs of shoes. They
See,
love
I
it.
don't get this stuff, but let's just share this.
Is this a
bad
European
boy
thing?
up. So I mean, this is David Fant says Lovable Shoe Game is even better than Curses, and he acts this fella Eric, who apparently is in awe. Eric then comes in later to reply, "Never seen anything like it." He gets 11 likes. I don't get the shoe thing. I guess it's a European thing. I mean, it's true. Like walking to someone's house, sometimes they're like, "Oh, can you take your shoes off?" Or like, you're kind of checking, is it a shoe off house? Like, have they got their shoes off? Yeah, they do, but they just, have they not put them on today? Have they not been outside? You know what I mean? If I'm waking my house, I don't put my shoes on. If I'm
Is
just
this what you do when you go to offices?
Yeah, I'm always
Is this
just,
a shoes on or off office?
Well, I don't do it in offices. If I would never walk into an office and take my shoes off. I think that's odd. But I think it's like a Helsinki thing.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen in the UK. I don't think, anyway. I mean, I've never gone to work and they've been like, "Why are your shoes on?"
Yeah.
Be like, "What? Where are we? What are we doing here?" Like, why?
Getting comfy.
Yeah. What if you've been to the gym that morning and you forgot your pair of socks and then you're going in and everyone's taking their shoes off and
You're
now
raw
you're sat
dogging
there with
the office.
You're just getting your stinky feet out of there. I'd be like, "Oh, actually, gonna work from home. Actually, yeah, this thing just came. Oh, I've got to go. I've got to go work from home."
So producers just coming again. Scandinavians always take their shoes off inside, but not the office. But not the office though. Our producer is Norwegian.
No, Finnish. Marcus, you're Finnish, right?
Swedish.
Hey, he's from Finland.
Swedish.
Oh, Swedish. Oh, shit.
Very Swedish.
Oh, I swore. I can't swear on stream. Sorry, I just swore.
Swedish.
Yeah, well, we're getting insight then. We're getting insight. As
So
to
maybe they want to make the office feel like home. Is the
I guess so.
is the TLDR?
I
here.
just find it a bit. I don't know. Yeah, not my bag. that.
Anton walking around,
Feet out,
just feet out.
hoagies out.
Love that.
Yeah, not my bag. I thought this was incredible. This had me laughing. This is
this is
Tommy at his at.
Put on to Tommy in love.
Tommy in love. I've started saying nonsense phrases at work, like "that's neither cheese nor cheddar," just to see my co-workers nod seriously, like they understand. This is what's happening to the world of offices. Outside of the startup ecosystem, outside of the venture ecosystem. This is what happens. Then follows up with a Like, whoa there, pause the pineapples. Mate, this absolutely banged. He got 142k likes with 1.8 million views on that. Maybe that's the new, we could run tests on saying this. Would you think you'd get away with that? You think that?
Like, whoa, pause the pineapples.
Yeah. If someone said that,
Why
I'd be
we
like, what did you just say?
Fired. Put your shoes back on.
Yeah. Shoes on. Get out of here. Feed Claude on your way out as well while you're at it. The machine's hungry. That's that's a cool one. I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe I'll start saying that. No.
Maybe a little bit more seriously now. Harry
neither
Stebbings.
cheese nor cheddar.
I asked a CEO the other day, do you angel invest?
This is cool.
They responded, are you kidding me? To have the cash to angel invest, I would have to sell stock in my own company to fund it. Do you really think I believe in any other business is a better investment than the dollars in my own? So no, I do not. I will not angel invest. I will not angel invest. Long my company. This is a CEO I want to back up the truck on.
Yeah. So
Long my company.
This is interesting.
This is something Max would say. Max Legora would say after saying, "What did you say?" This is now the third time on the show.
I love it so much, though. Also, 420 viewers. I wake up every morning with the taste of blood in my mouth, and it's like, oh, who was that?
And then he would say, "Long my company."
You're thinking like, oh, who said that? You know, was it Genghis Khan? Was it Napoleon?
No, he owns an AI agent law startup.
What an absolute
That
legend,
is killing it, by the way.
That's just, shout out to Legora, shout out to Max. We loved hosting you on the Series C announcement.
Also, going on to a company killing it, Spectre, be the reason your fund wins the deal of the decade, harness the power of live data and AI-driven analysis to outsmart the competition and make confident decisions in private markets. Go to tryspectre.com.
Sorry, cut off the end of that. This Harry Stebbings tweet, I think, on a serious one, right? It's interesting. Should CEOs be angel investing in other companies? I mean, obviously, you know, if we're talking about companies that maybe would sit in a competitive space to them, probably not. That would be a bit weird.
VCs angel investing. I've had a few VCs want to angel invest into my company.
Yeah, I mean I think that's fine. I think with CEOs, I mean, the argument here is for CEOs, it's like, is that distracting to me? I need to focus on my mission. Yes, I think that if
dollars in dollar terms as well. Is the cool thing is like do you really believe any other business is a better investment than the dollars in my own business?
Yeah, but
why am I taking money out of my own business to put it into a different business that I think that's basically saying on a granular level, that company is going to perform better than the company that the dollars were in already?
Yes, I guess. But I guess like here, then we need to specify what stage this founder is at. If it's a pre-seed company that hasn't raised anything, yeah, maybe. And even if it's seed, probably, yeah. Like I'm assuming if the founder isn't broke, well, first-time founder, and they're not broke at like pre-seed, seed.
No, but I disagree. It's the only... Any money that you have, if you're investing, regardless of how wealthy you are as a founder or not, whether this is your third company, your first company, your 15th company, it's any dollars that I invest away from my own business are dollars that aren't going into my business.
Yeah, but like...
Is what the argument here of the CEO said.
Yeah. But let's say a company like you raise money.
I'm long my company, therefore any money that I make goes straight back into my company.
No, but let's say
it's the best investment of...
Okay, let's say you've got like, I don't know, 100 grand there in your current account. You got 100K in your bank account, and you go and you raise a 200 million Series B at a 1.4 billion valuation.
Nice. Who did that?
That was... no, they did Series B.
It was a 200 million Series B at a $1.4 billion valuation.
Oh, that was HartmanAI, the defense company we discussed earlier.
Indeed.
That's probably why it's still in my head. But, you know,
I thought you did that deliberately.
No, that was accidentally. That was like probably like a...
No way.
Like a subconscious sort of thing. Anyway, but what I'm saying is that like, if I'm in that situation... Like, why not? Like, my salary is being paid from the money I've raised. Everything that the business requires is covered by the amount I've raised because I've raised the money. Like, yeah, so I'll chuck a few like 3Ks, 5Ks out there and pre-seed, mates rounds maybe.
Yeah.
Say that's all right?
I mean, yeah. Well, not according to Harry Stebbings, no.
Well, that's what's interesting, right? Like, I think we should get more specific here. I mean, a pre-seed seed, yeah, you'd be like, come on, focus on your own. Stop worrying about all these other companies. Like, lock in, do your own thing.
Oh, so yeah, it's more of a
I mean,
less of a
later
dollar
stage,
thing.
yeah,
It's more of
yeah,
a
like-
it's more of a mindset thing.
Yeah. It's more of like time focus, I guess.
Harry, if you can give us more context, that'd be great. What stage are they, etc.
Yeah, we'd love more context.
more context.
Then we can-
Although Paul Bonnet actually said that it was it's the founder that they're backing.
So yeah, we can maybe guess it would be like pre-seed to B.
Ish.
They've done like late. They've done Bs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. Anyway, moving on. What's next on the in the Times Square? In the Times Square? In the town square.
The town square. We've got Greg Eisenberg. This is
Yeah,
really
we should have picked this up when we were talking about Claude. But
Yeah.
Hey ho.
But it's related. You know, we got a nice nice little flow going.
Greg's always in there with these kind of vibes.
Mate, I've
it's
seen
great.
Greg come in with like, and he gets his format good as well. This is a good formatted tweet, but he comes in with these like 4 lines, 5 lines.
Sometimes
bangers.
it's either really big.
Oh yeah, either like hella long form or like a little short banger. But Greg Eisenberg says every failed VC-backed consumer app from 2015 to 2022 is now a perfect 1 to 10 million solo business, just waiting for someone with Claude code, etc., to rebuild it in a weekend and unleash a flood of UGC creators behind it. Go find those "we're sunsetting" emails like there is no tomorrow.
Game over.
For those folk. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like you don't expect I mean, let's rewind back to 2015, and this is the Bending Spoons guys actually, when we were doing research on them, when we were covering them, they were they'd initially raised a bit of money for a to-do list app.
Yeah.
And you imagine now going to a venture firm and saying like,
Hey,
look, so I've got this idea, it's a to-do list app. Like, you know, it's or a scrapbooking app or whatever, you'd get laughed out the room. It would be someone could I could make that.
Yeah.
And I am like the most inept technical individual on earth. Like,
Nice.
you know, I was crowned a king when I managed to plug the HDMI cable in the right thing by my family. That was like my technical expertise. Like I couldn't, you know, but now I could build that. I could build a to-do list app with that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a crazy time to be alive.
I think that'd be quite a fun experiment if you can get a meeting with a VC and just go in and say, hey, like I'm gonna build
To-do list app.
A to-do list app. It's gonna have all the to-dos on it.
I mean,
Game over.
that's how that would go. You just game over. Get out the room. What are you doing there? How do you even get the meeting? Like whoever
That's how
introed
you know.
you've ruined their reputation now.
Yeah, true. That's so true. Okay, cool. Live on the show. Do we have? I mean, can you hear us? Amazing stuff. Great to meet you.
Checking with Marcus, our producer, that we
Yes.
are good to go. You are live on ETN. What an absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining us as well. You've been busy recently. I'm just seeing if you can hear this. This is to celebrate Sport Bio raising the money. If you can't hear it, then our viewers can hear it, but we hope you can. Anyway, the raise itself, we've been discussing who it was from. Really interesting. We'd love to get more details from you, what it is, what it means, the size, if we can, and yeah, any more information that you can offer.
Sure. I mean, let me first tell you about Sport Bio. We're a young biotech based in Paris. We built a technology that can detect bacteria in 10 minutes instead of 5 days for food and beverage, pharma, and cosmetic applications. So to make sure that all the products that we are consuming are not contaminated by E. coli, Listeria, Salmonella, and all those pathogens. And after 3 years of R&D, we were working on lots of exciting stuff. And we got this major announcement that Google.org, which is this philanthropic organization of Google, had selected 10 projects in the world that use AI to solve some of the most groundbreaking challenges in healthcare and science. And out of the 10, we have been the only startup that has been selected, which is a major news for us. And so we received a major funding from Google, which is a philanthropic funding, which is super nice. And we're opening a new big AI native lab in Paris to solve some of the most fundamental aspects of our technology that we have not explore yet and that are extremely exciting.
So cool.
That is
Such an
so exciting.
awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to you and the whole team. Like, how did that feel getting that news? That must have been really cool.
I mean, that feels super cool. And, we had a really non-conventional approach for the last 3 years where we were really, for deep tech companies, usually most of them are spin-off and they do a bit of scientific research, etc. That was not our case. We were focused on solving one major problem in the industry, and we tried not to defocus on that. And having this additional funding and building up this lab in Paris will allow us to explore in a more academic way, some aspects of our technology that we really believe that can change the world. So that feels amazing, man.
Nice. You love to hear that. And I guess like the problem itself. So like, what can you break this down a bit more for us? Like I guess you can call it the product, but what the area that it is that you guys are focusing on.
So it's a weird niche area in tech called microbiology. So microbiology is the science of bacteria. Still, it's a huge $50 billion market. And that's all the biggest food and beverage, pharma and cosmetic manufacturers that need to test their products before they are being put in the market and do not contaminate the whole population. That actually happens more and more frequently. And today they use this really old 19th centuries technology that has been invented by Louis Pasteur and Julius Petri, called the Petri dish. It might remind you some old science class in high school. And the biggest issue with this technology is that you have to wait several days. So it's around 5 days in food and beverage, 14 days in pharma. And that's like the worst ever. And I've been living the pain myself. And so at 4Bio, we built a technology that can do the exact same. So detect, quantify, and identify bacteria, but in 10 minutes instead of 5 days, with this exact same level of reliability than traditional method. And so that's a complete paradigm shift for the whole industry that was desperately waiting for this.
And was it a case of someone was just being like, people in the industry were literally just waiting for people to go and build it, or was it quite a novel thing to? I
mean, people have tried to build it for the last century, but they use the technologies that they had. So the most used technology in that case, I think you know it well, is PCR testing that has been democratized during COVID. But those technologies kind of reach a glass ceiling. And so it's really through new technological momentum, with transformers, with all the recent development in AI and all those foundation models that now is possible to do that. And now it's actually possible to deliver on this promise.
So cool. Okay, and like, I have to ask, like, this is kind of atypical, you know, it's not like B2B SaaS. It's not like a, you know, it's a real thing that's that has like real, not to, you know, disregard it or everyone building B2B SaaS. B2B SaaS is a noble mission. But this is interesting. So what, like the founding story behind this, like why this path?
It's actually funny, man, because I started the company as a B2B SaaS. I wanted
stay B2B SaaS. What are you doing, dude?
No, good.
Stay
pivot.
On that noble mission.
This is a good pivot.
I wanted, so I've been living a major recall in my previous company, and I'd seen how big of an issue it was. And so the only idea I had at that time is, okay, let's build a B2B SaaS to solve this issue, which would have been another B2B SaaS out of the thousands out there. And I started building it, and really quickly I met a guy, pure random, serendipity. His name is Maxime Streta. He's a researcher at Institut Pasteur, so one of the leading microbiology research center in the world. And we started discussing about that, and really quickly he made me realize that we could do so much more than just a B2B SaaS, but really go deep at the detection level, at the technology level in those factories, and build the media, the technology that allow us to detect those bacteria. And yeah, it's harder. We're doing hardware. It's biology. The R&D cycles are super long. You need to assemble so many complex technological bricks to be able to do that. But man, I mean, the impact that you can have with this kind of project, and now we're seeing it with this Google announcement, but even on the field is just unmet, and I'm so happy that we have taken that road.
That's so cool. Yeah, again, congrats to you. I read the announcement post on LinkedIn that you posted, and you said that you have far more announcements coming in 2026. And I just want to, I obviously don't announce them now, obviously, but I want to kind of unpack like what you guys are working on now. What's the thing that you guys are really focused on at the moment, and maybe the hurdles that you guys are trying to like kind of climb and jump over?
Yeah, deep tech is weird, man, because you build for several years, but at the beginning you really need to be in stealth mode because you have intellectual property and you cannot share out loud what you're building. So you're quietly building it in the trenches. And actually, 2026 is the year where we have filed our patents. They have been granted. We have generated a lot of data, and basically everything will be published. Everything will be out there, and the world will soon realize how groundbreaking all what we have been building over the last 3 years in our small lab. So we're gonna publish data, peer review paper, and for the first time, customer testimonials of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies that have been using our technology for the last few months and few years, have been releasing their products, and we'll show the world how it completely changed the way they do manufacturing and quality control.
Nice. And this is like when we look at the problems, not to be like, how big is the TAM? Like, I don't think that question would be like applicable maybe here, but in terms of the problem and the size, like how you said that you've seen like a large scale recall before from a product. Yeah. Like obviously there is one, like the economical constraints for that company who has to recall the product, but also like the damage that it can do to the customer base, right? Like potential lives at risk maybe with like a hazardous thing. Like I'd love to hear more from your perspective. Like how bad can, like how much of a problem is that? You know, like what are the things that can happen there?
Yeah, first let me tell you there are 480,000 people dying every year of microbiological contamination, 8 million people getting hospitalized every year. So that's first a huge sanitary problem. Man, let me be clear, in 2026, we shouldn't be still dying because our children consumed a burger or a steak or whatever at the local store and dies of salmonella contamination. For me, we should reach a level of civilization and humanity where we have solved that. And actually, it's a really, really hard problem to solve. Then, obviously, it's economical pain and burden for all those manufacturers. It costs on average 10 million per recall on average to any factory. And those recalls can happen 3 to 4 times a year. So that's, a huge stress, a permanent stress that all our customers have. You can imagine all their priority is having a safe, qualitative product that is being consumed by your customers, and basically do not kill your customers. And so we're trying to help them do that.
Yeah, that's a cool line to what. Yeah, don't kill your customers.
It's good advice.
We help you not kill your customers. That's like, on the landing page. Maybe that could be like an outbound email.
And just to tell you, so I've been working for Nestle before, and unfortunately, the brand that had the recall I've seen was one of the biggest consumer brands in Europe, and they were doing more than 800 million revenue per year. And the brand today is dead because of this recall of one bacteria. The reputation is completely finished. So that could go far along.
Oh, dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
Company killer, 800 mil.
So in the industry, is it obviously that this is like a thing that is just obviously needed, and customers are basically just like, this needs to be built, and I will just pay basically anything to have this, so my company isn't dead, right?
Dying at 800 mil.
Yeah. Any.
Yeah, I mean the willingness to pay is huge for this kind of solution. Depends also on the industry. In food and beverage, it's a bit less than pharma. Pharma has those huge budgets. Each lot costs millions of dollars to be produced, and so if they found out that the lot needs to be recalled or destroyed, it's going to be a pain even bigger than food and beverage, where it's costing a bit less. But yes, definitely, I mean, since the beginning of the project, we had way more commercial traction than what we can handle, because we still needed to build the product. And I mean, for the last 3 years, we didn't have any sales. I was alone, and 85% of the deals that we signed with some of the biggest S&P 500 companies were through inbound. So there's a huge market pool and a huge need for what we're building. Now we just need to deliver it and to scale it. And that's the whole challenge. And that's why this kind of huge funding and huge announcements are helping us a lot.
Yeah, that's insane. I follow on to this is like, you can't even keep up with the demand, which is mad. A question connected to it is like, how are you going to be working with Google going forward then? Like Google.org. It's insane. When we were looking up before this, I didn't know that was a thing, right? And it was sort of founded by Demis after he won the Nobel Prize in chemistry for his work with AlphaFold and protein folding, which is sensational, right? And what an amazing feeling to be connected to that as well for you guys, like, and access to some crazy people. But what does that relationship look like in terms of the fund and you? Like, can you kind of, I'm not expecting that I can call Demis whenever I want, but like, is there like a connection there where they can help you out and stuff? Like, it's not just the money, right?
First, let me tell you that it feels really amazing, and it feels that we're part of history, we're trying to build something really, really hard to build. And that's what we try to kind of share with our announcement, is really take the whole historical aspect of our science and try to keep up with the work that DeepMind has been doing in terms of ambition, in terms of impact, and that's the really the bar that we're putting to ourselves. Now, how it looks like: first, major philanthropic funding that allow us to take more risks and to be bolder. The second thing is the first project that we're going to start is an even bigger impact project on the clinical space, which is something that we wanted to do since the inception of the company. But at some point, you have so many things to do that you need to have a focus. And so we're starting it now. And so it's the infectious diseases and the whole antimicrobial resistance field, which is called the silent pandemic, and unfortunately will kill 13 million people every year by 2050. So that's a major sanitary challenge. And actually, DeepMind has been working on that over the last few years. They've been, and I was quite impressed when I met them. They have a whole team dedicated to that has been developing lots of solutions, lots of deep learning models to understand and to kind of modelize the whole antimicrobial resistance situation. And when they've seen our technology, when they saw all the groundbreaking work that the team has been doing, they were like, okay, there's an area where we could help them and support them with all the resources and all the history that they had in this field, which is ultimately quite new to us. The last thing, it's Google. They have lots of compute, and so they're also helping us a lot with that. And so they're giving us a bunch of free compute to be able to train huge models in an exploratory way, which is amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage.
Do you get access to their like canteen maybe as well? They have a nice chef there. They always seem to have good food.
I've never tried it, but I hope I'll be able to try it at some point.
I went in once. This is so awkward. I went in once with someone. I won't name any names, but like they were helping us out. One of the old companies, and like I was so gobsmacked by the amount of food that they had there. Like really nice, great. But I think like Stripe have an amazing one as well. We went to in London, like just a canteen, but like the food's like high quality, really nice, and you can have like kind of as much as you want. So I just like piled up my plate with like loads of like an embarrassingly large amount of food, and then was like wolfing it down like a caveman, and people were looking at me like, why, like this guy's with my like fluorescent visitor badge on as well. So just like just looking like an idiot. Segue, sorry. But yeah, like on the collaboration thing, like what an amazing like opportunity to work with them. And the compute thing as well must be like incredibly helpful. What like the money, like what do you have something in like when you got like, did you obviously receiving money and raising funds is excellent, but did you guys like set out to raise this money, or was this like, oh, we entered this thing and we've won and now we get the money? Like, what was the like? Is there a plan with the cash? Obviously there is, but
Yeah, we closed our Series A few months ago, and we didn't plan to raise this additional money. But
Yeah.
it's non-dilutive funding. It's always super interesting to have on top of it, and that allows us to open up new streams, new applications that were not possible before. So that was a pure opportunistic way, and that allows us to really double down and to have even bigger momentum to achieve our mission. So we were definitely not planning to raise this money, and that comes on top of what we have forecasted, which is amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question about the so the customers that you're helping. Is it a global thing straight away, or do you go France, then Europe, then elsewhere? What's the kind of strategy behind that? Because I imagine this is a global problem, right? And no one really globally is probably solving it like you guys.
Yeah, that's what's interesting about our market. We have to be global since day one, and all our customers, as soon as we sign, I don't know, one of the biggest customer in food and beverage, pharma, or cosmetic, they have factories all around the world across 4 continents, and so you need to follow those factories and to be all around the world. So today we have deployed our technology in 5 different countries all around the world, and we're soon also deploying in countries like South Korea, which shows a bit how we need to be international, which was a challenge being a small French company, Paris-based, but that needs to adapt, and that's why also we're opening a US office that I will be handling in New York to be able to serve all the demand, because most of it is in North America.
Yeah.
That's just reminded me, where are you based right now? Where are you calling from?
In San Francisco, it's 5 a.m.
I forgot about it. I knew you were getting up super early for this call, and I realized like
my
I didn't.
bed,
We
my
haven't
bed
said
is
thanks.
behind. Like 10 minutes ago, I was still sleeping. I'm in GPM Healthcare, this big healthcare conference in San Francisco. That is quite impressive, and I couldn't miss the ETN show. That's why I'm here.
Mate, absolute legend. Well, you're doing like a phenomenal job having just woken up. When I've just woken up, I'm like, I'm horrible to be around. You're an absolute pleasure to be around. I just remembered that. 'Cause I remember when we were talking over email, and it was like SF time, and I was like, oh no. And then you're like, no, it's all good. I just get up super early. I was like, yes. The question I had the question then. I remembered this, which is super funny. But the US for you guys, like, is that like any traditional company, right? It's always like you kind of have to go to the US to take it, not like have to, but it's been the case where like massive market, they have a propensity to spend more on software in general. Like, is that like, and I guess the healthcare market in general, like pharma and like food and beverage, there will be massive. Is that like an aim for you guys to really focus on, or is it like, and Luke said, you sort of building locally and then scaling out globally, but I'm assuming the US would be like a massive target.
It is. If you take just the US alone, it's almost 50% of my whole market. So I cannot be blind on that, and I need to deliver it. And it happened quite naturally. We were signing customers, and as I told you, a lot of it was through inbound. And even European customer had a bigger factory base in the US than the rest of the world. And so we started deploying our technologies and machines there, and at some point it felt completely natural. Also, I don't know if you follow the whole geopolitics of manufacturing with Trump, but most pharma companies now, they are shutting down all their projects in Europe to invest more in industrial capacities, etc., and shifting all towards the US and building new plants, new factories with this whole Trump plan. And so, unfortunately, that's really bad for Europe, but we need to follow our customers and to follow the manufacturing, and in pharma specifically, all the investments right now are happening in the US with this aggressive strategy of the Trump administration.
Wow. That must be, like something that you kind of just got to go with, right? Like how...
Yeah. No, I'm quite happy. It's the science we're trying to disrupt, microbiology. It's actually a French science. It has been invented by Louis Pasteur in the 19th century. the biggest companies on earth are European companies, so bioMérieux, Eurofins, and they have they are the ones who own the US market. The biggest academic center in my field is Institut Pasteur, which is based in Paris. And if you go in the US, the best microbiologists are going to be French. And so it feels so cool for us to be this new European company with this kind of global international ambition, aggressivity, because most deep tech European companies we have met do not have this kind of urgency and aggressivity that we're trying to put in our science. And go in the US with those European roots, with those European legacy in our field, and disrupt this market. So I'm quite happy to do that, and obviously it takes us to go in the US, open an office there, open a lab, and serve our customers there.
Yeah, that's so sick.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Amazing stuff. We're out of time.
But thank you so much for joining us. This has been really
You
awesome.
can go back to sleep.
Yeah,
now.
we'll let you get some rest, man. Like you get to go back to sleep.
I'm gonna go back to sleep really quickly now. Thank you so much.
Such
See you
a
later.
legend.
Great to meet you.
See you
dude.
later, dude. Have a good one. have a good
Thanks.
sleep. Oh, what a legend! I forgot
is,
that I knew that was
Dude,
happening.
we should
I
have said
forgot that,
thank you.
I know. I forgot that mine was getting up super early, which is so funny.
Hey, that happens.
I want to get up.
Just quickly breaking news. James Wise just posted the Sovereign AI Fund is hiring.
Oh,
Exciting stuff. Ahead of our launch in April, we are building an investment team with strong commercial experience. We're looking for a lead partner to drive the fund's success. This is a truly unique opportunity to support some of the most impactful AI companies anchored in the UK and set up what I hope will be a huge asset for the UK taxpayer. We can go through job description, but basically...
Oh, we can get him to break it down on Thursday as well.
Break it down. James,
Break it down for us.
break down the role on Thursday, please. But anyway, that was a really cool conversation. I wanted to add that. So I was reading about the Manhattan project, and it basically listed out all of the kind of like the top engineers and researchers, and they were saying how they all came from Europe and all moved to the US, and it was like one of the only places in the world that was like truly like anywhere in I can't where was the Manhattan project? Where was that in the US? I can't remember.
Manhattan.
No. Oh my god. But they were saying that it's like the amount of countries / languages there was the most out of
Like most diverse.
yeah.
Oh, what,
it was
as
most
in from
diverse.
European?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it's kind of similar to what you were saying. It's cool.
Very nice.
Good
I wanted
stuff.
to pull up Des Trainer.
Yeah, just quickly.
Previous guest. Oh yeah, please.
Airwallex, leave outdated business banking behind with Airwallex, the all-in-one financial platform built for the pace of modern business. Multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, online payments, all in one platform. We have just been told that the screen is not showing. It's kind of glitchy.
Which screen? My screen. Oh yeah, I've not pressed the thing yet. Now it should be showing.
Are we showing?
Oh, it's not.
Okay,
No.
it's not.
Oh well. Well, we can save that. But Des
We
Trainer.
will save. Yeah.
Des Trainer says, more than a don't die movement, we need a don't forget to live movement. The proper function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. Quote from Jack London. That is in response to the recent viral GQ magazine about going sober to prioritize my health. I guess the whole like don't die movement with Brian Johnson as well. Are we focusing so
That's just
much
like-
on not dying that we are forgetting to live?
Incredibly gangster from Des.
Yeah, no, shout out to Des, previous guest. Absolutely loved having him on here. Should definitely try and
cool
run that
guy.
back as well.
Indeed.
Um,
That's it. That's,
that's
the
the
show.
show.
Thank you very
That's
much
the
for
show for
tuning
today.
in this Tuesday. We appreciate you coming on and joining ETM. We will be back on Thursday at 11 a.m. GMT. We'll see you then. Have a good few days.
See you then.